This is my 1-month journey in Conquest of Azeroth. You will see testing of the brand new classes, lots of PvP and some max level PvE content in heroics, mythics and raids. If you wanted some fresh air in World of Warcraft, you're definitely in the right place. Let's dive right in.
From the all 21 classes, I have chosen Templar to be my first character to try out on level 60, and oh boy, that was a perfect choice. The playstyle of the Crusader spec is such an amazing experience. I didn't have so much fun on a class from a hell of a long time. If you're not aware, initially on Conquest of Azeroth, there was supposed to be a Blademaster class, which was an iteration of kind of an orc monk with a two-handed weapon with some mobility and stealth stuff that was critting for crazy amounts with very powerful crit effects. Eventually, core developers figured out that monk and demon hunter classes are pretty boring because not so many people choose it due to the fact that they are not kinda original, but they didn't really take a look at the specs. So maybe that's why they were not so appealing according to the developers. So all in all, the Blademaster spec, the whole monk spec, has been turned into the Templar, which are literally warriors of the Scarlet Crusade, which is basically known to all in the World of Warcraft universe. But thankfully, they didn't entirely scrap the Blademaster idea, and what we have now is a two-handed Crusader that can deal shit tons of damage with some very cool mechanics. Like I said, I didn't have that much fun in a long time in World of Warcraft, and this is all thanks to this specialization. I do admit that I didn't get all the specs to level 60 before the release, but the ones I tried, like Primalist or Knight of Azeroth, in my opinion, are nowhere near the fun aspect that the Crusader Templar gives us. We have been basically turned into an agile Crusader warrior, kind of a mixture of Blademaster and Paladin that can bladestorm like every 20 seconds when talented correctly, shit tons of amounts of AoE damage, crazy mobility. It's just freaking so fun to play, I cannot stress this enough. Playing the specs feels really smooth. I'm not even talking about any numbers just yet because this is all due to be changed in the future, but of course the numbers are pretty dope as well. And you basically only need like 2 indicators to play this spec very efficiently. Like you see on my screen, there's 2 things popping above and below my character. So the basic premise of this build is that we have a combo system that allow us to generate a stack with our Templar blade that further powers up our ability and allow us to use the combo breakers, which are ultimately the most powerful things when it comes down to our offense. And you can build your character in such a way that you don't really have to use that much of a Templar strike to generate follow-ups, because other attacks and things that you use in standard rotation basically allow us to use follow-ups more often and stack enough follow-ups to use the combo breaker, which is our most powerful attacks. Bladestorm, for example, to name a few, 1000 blades are 2 very powerful AoE attacks that also deal crazy amounts of single target damage as well. For the moment, you can say that it's pretty OP. Probably the numbers may need to be tuned down, but this is still too early. Initially from classes I've checked already, like most of them are able to reach around 1k DPS on level 60, so I don't know. For me this is kind of balanced, but eventually we'll see how it's gonna go. So basically, in simple words, we just use less powerful attacks that seem powerful enough to me to stack up the appropriate combos to be able to unleash those powerful mighty attacks that destroy your enemies. This AoE heavy playstyle, because we also have that lesser AoE, we have 2 big AoEs, and basically one of the skills that we're using to build up stacks is also allowing us to hit in AoE with those lesser attacks, which basically creates very AoE heavy playstyle that is so freaking cool to play that I cannot stress it enough. The other spec that we can use in this one is Zealot, which is basically dual wielding paladin monk hybrid that is kind of more follow-up heavy, but it seems to be doing similar amount of DPS, although I do prefer to play as an Templar, so as a Crusader, mainly because of Bladestorm and kind of a Blademaster playstyle. If you watch me for some time, you probably have seen that my initial video on Ascension, or the second one, the one that I started the adventure mode, was kind of a dream to create kind of a Blademaster. So it's even better for me that this spec turned out to be so freaking cool to play. But enough of the class, we're gonna see how it's gonna perform and unfold as we play it. So initially I started to see that there are a lot more people actually playing and trying out core, so I really wanted to take a look. How does the PvP look like? And the very first step we took, of course, we popped all of the auras of experience potions and went straight up into the mana storms to get around level 55, 56 to get some upper hand in the battlegrounds and see how the Crusader will fare on the battlefield against players. Unfortunately, mana storms are still the most efficient way to level up, which is kind of a shame. I mean, for progression, mana storms are pretty cool. This is a very cool mode for endgame. On a loon, it does actually play its role perfectly, but I think that, you know, the realm name is Conquest of Azeroth. The scaling numbers and all that kind of stuff and jazz is still yet to be balanced, so I don't take everything for granted, although it would be nice to actually make the world more meaningful and significant, you know, like the classic saying that sounds like enjoy the journey, the meaningful journey, things like that. So it would be really great to actually fully experience that journey with all of the new classes on that meaningful journey, but it is that it is for the moment. I just hope that the high risk will actually get more lively with all the classes available now. I'm not yet sure how does the balance look on level 60, of course, but you know, with classes being balanced all around, I think the overall experience in PvP should be better, because not only your gear will matter more now, and of course the build itself as well, but you know, previously like on a loon you had to have some really good luck for certain spells to be able to rock in PvP. Of course, like I mentioned a couple of times already, there's actually no way to balance everything perfectly, so I still do realize that there will be like meta specs and stuff like that, but as long as we have at least one specialization each class that does exceptionally well in PvP, I will be really happy. So far for the moment, what I see, Crusader has like defensive cooldowns, offensive cooldowns, mobility, hit tons of damage, and the only thing that we actually are missing a little bit is the healing department, but there are kind of a ways to reset everything and heal up a little bit, so it's kind of cool. But eventually we have dinged level 57. Look at this, the guy just got deleted completely. And I'm still circling around. It seems that PvP is being extremely bursty, so I guess the gear with the resilience and a lot of PvP power and defensive will be mandatory for level 60. Probably the numbers should be tuned down a little bit as well, but yeah, for the moment we can just enjoy the burst fest, literally. The next BG we got into was Hillsbred Foothills. Running around this place was a pain in the ass and a 60% mount, and the first clash that we actually get into was my YOLO attempt to Bladestorm everything that got onto my sight. I burned all my defensive and offensive cooldowns. Unfortunately, it didn't exactly work out as intended. Okay, it seems that the ranged classes in core are being pretty damn powerful when it comes down to PvP, and I can tell you that the Primalist is pretty damn cool. I did level 1 to level 50 as well, and their caster spec has so many instant cast spells that it's probably one of the best when it comes down to player versus player interactions. One very big downside of the Crusaders that when you start bladestorming or doing the 1000 blades, you basically cannot use any of your light defensives, which means that oftentimes you have to actually break your burst to live, but on the other hand, those are on a very short cooldowns, so it's not so bad. But I also noticed that all the classes have some crazy mobility things, as even though I do have some movement speed reductions, it was still pretty hard for me to connect to some targets. But all in all, Templar has a pretty good toolkit for PvP. We've got Bear Reflection, we've got disarms, we've got like dodges, range dodges, we've got immunity, we've got very nice mobility that is mostly targeted, and cast on self, which are movement speed increases, so mobility wise is also pretty good. Although the Crusader's Leap has a pretty slow animation, and it's very easy to avoid it actually. I can clearly see that PvP will be very interesting on co-op, mainly because this is not only the Crusader or Templar toolkit that is so rich. I can constantly see people getting some immunities and stuff like that, so it's gonna be so freaking amazing, like learning the game, all the classes, day by day, the interactions, the cooldowns they can use against you. It's gonna be so freaking fun. And there we go guys, finally level 60. That wasn't really that hard. Okay, so it seems that on fresh level 60, as a Crusader, I reach almost 2k DPS, with Righteous Tempest being one of my most damaging ability. Each tick can crit up to 3000, Vindication crits for 2000, each hit 1000 blades. Kinda weaker, but it's so good, and also can cleave, so even better. There's Hammer Dot ticking for almost 600. In AoE, we can easily reach about 4000 DPS, which is pretty damn cool to be honest. But that actually means that with the gear, we can probably reach about 10k single target and probably up to like 40k AoE with things as it is. Of course, this can still change, but for the moment, this is the case. It's 12 o'clock in the night, and look how many people are actually in Orgrimmar, and I think there's like at least quadruple of this or something, because most of the people are farming dungeons for the moment. I would also love to try out more PvP, but we would actually need to farm some Bloodforge gear. There are actually normal daily quests available for Cardboard Caches that we can complete, and all the mythic heroic stuff that we usually do. The fun thing is that the daily quests for today are actually a fight against the Scarlet Crusade, which I'm kind of a part of. Unfortunately, with my current level, item level 28, I couldn't even do to any of the like heroics or something. I need at least 40 to be able to do so. So this leaves me with either daily quests and some Cardboard Caches, or Mana Storm farms that are not really giving me that many rewards, especially on such a low level. I don't know if this is a bug, but apparently I cannot like progress the Mana Storm. But of course we'll see. Let's go and have a look at the daily quests for the moment. It seems that there are not so many people doing the daily quests, so although when it came down to the fight with the Zealot Anselm, which is a big lead boss for those daily quests, some comrades nearby would probably make things a lot easier, although there was none, so I just simply had to retreat with Song of Glory on my mouth. Then in the tower nearby, I managed to stumble upon a rogue. Reaper. This guy was able to go invisible, so, you know, the old habits always strike you the most. So yeah, I was really close to catch him off guard, and we started a fight on the top of the tower. He tried to retreat, so jumped down. I continued my glorious holy chase, and I got tunnel vision so much that he popped some defensive, shielded against my radiant blade storm, and caught me back off guard with a couple of swift strikes that I did not withstand, and my Scarlet Crusade ended very quickly. So waiting a very long time for respawns as the rogue the Reaper striked once again. So then we had another fight. It lasted a little bit longer, but I don't know why. The next two duels, basically he was like 10 or 20% health, near death, and I dealt like almost no damage to him, and he finished me off once more. Then I noticed that he had some strange buff named Nullify or something like that reduces his damage taken by 75%. This is probably the thing that does not allow me to kill him, but either way, those were pretty good duels, I would have to say. Like I mentioned before, we still have to learn all the classes once more from scratch, what they do, what to do against them, which is basically pretty damn cool in my opinion. But yeah, I basically finished like 4 quests and decided to go back to Orgrimmar because it's gonna take forever. I completely forgot that the cardboard caches give you random stuff, not the ones that you need. So if you're spec'd into agility, it's gonna change nothing. You're still gonna get some strength stuff, which will make gearing a little bit harder. So farming mana storms seems to be the best choice for the moment, as at least it's gonna give me the gear I need. So agility, attack power, especially that I need to farm those mana storms from level 1, so it should be pretty quick. Thankfully I managed to stumble upon a greedy demon that dropped me some epic stuff, and I managed to up my item level by 10. So we only needed 1.5, so eventually I just didn't want to farm and bought myself a Twig of the World tree for 35 gold. Was a very slow weapon with nice statistics, good damage, not as good as my bloodied Arcanid Reaper. Unfortunately, heirlooms does not give any item level whatsoever, so we had to downgrade our weapon and damage to be able to enter some of those. Hopefully we're gonna get an upgrade very soon and we will be able to forget about this weapon. So with item level of 42, we have finally managed to enter some random classic heroic dungeons, so let's find a group. So while trying to find some Bloodforge gear in tier 1 high risk with no luck whatsoever, finally the queue for dungeon finder popped, so I have waited any longer. I haven't been waiting any longer, and we went straight into the Scarlet Monastery, which means that after a long journey, I'm finally able to visit my homeland. So our first heroic in Conquest of Azeroth showed that the damage I thought I would be dealing is not really the case, and there are some people that are already doing some crazy damage. I kinda got PTSD after playing Elune and seeing those high numbers, and it seems that actually it's gonna be the same case with Hoa unless the numbers will be tuned down, but it's just an alpha, so let's be patient. In the next stockade I actually did manage to win the DPS race, but unfortunately I lost the Burning War Axe. It would be such an amazing upgrade for me, but it's really a shame I was not able to grab it. Overall, it seems that even in heroics with current DPS, we are not stream rolling through the content, which is pretty good. The bosses actually do take some time to kill, although we are on pretty low level yet, but I think that's how it should look like when you are farming for your initial gear. Although yeah, this is just a vanilla with some pretty much OP classes in it, so there are not really any like mechanics or anything like that you should really care about. So it's just a one big DPS race, and for the moment we will still have to farm some heroic, get some upgrades, and then we'll see where our DPS pumpage will lead us to. So day 2 of our Templar playthrough starts off with getting some PvP gear. I did manage to get 23,000 from all the BGs I played so far, so it does allow us to get some starting gear with some resilience and increased item level. We mainly go for Shaman kind of gear, so things that has agility, stamina, intellect, and spell power. As this little bad boy in here, Scarlet Training, increases our spell power by 50% of agility, and critical strike rating by 20% of our intellect. Eventually I managed to get 7 pieces of PvP gear. We start off with 0 PvP power and 10 resilience to get to 88 resilience, which provides us with almost 6% damage reduction, and 200 PvP power, which increases our damage against players by 10%, and healing and absorptions are also increased by 10%, so pretty damn good. We still have a pretty long way for gearing ahead of us, but it's a good place to start. So next up, straight away, I got into some battlegrounds. I really need to farm those additional 300 gold to get that 100% mount because it's terrible to run with such slow speed. It seems that BG we joined is being dominated by barbarians totally. Oh my god, look at this cultist bad boy. He's so freaking big. We have been massacring the alliance in the middle of the background, but there was literally a guardian running right through the middle of the BG. The flag has been recovered and we continued the slaughter. I was relentlessly running for the flag, but unfortunately there was no help whatsoever from my teammates, so eventually I have been overwhelmed, 4v1 and finished off, even though I tried to run away. We also have stumbled upon some freaking big enormous barbarian. Fortunately, I was still able to get the flag back, even though we have been overwhelmed totally by the enemy. Our ally has turned in the flag, so seems the damage has been turned down a little bit. During the rest of the BG, there were a couple of skirmishes here and there, although my internet didn't exactly cooperate with me, and I was pretty damn laggy. All in all, we managed to get the BG done. I was the 5th in kills, 6. There were a couple of people basically getting above 100,000k damage. I was like almost 100k and I came in late, so it wasn't that bad. I think that next BG, when I fix my lag problems, should be a lot better. So we managed to win the background and I turned in the quest for 12,000 honor. So let's keep the honor for now and let's try another background now without any lags. Unfortunately, this time I got into a BG that we get completely dominated. The moment I entered, we are 1,000 points behind. We managed to steal one base just to delay things. Got into some very nice skirmishes, but in the end it ended pretty quickly, so there's not really that much to talk about. Thankfully, the BGQs nowadays are going like instantly on level 60, which is a very good thing. I love it. It seems that Conquest of Azeroth, as for now, is in a very good state. A lot of people are playing it, trying out new classes. I have always loved the moment where like a new expansion came out, like new game came out, new season, like wipe or something, because everybody started at the same level. Especially in PvP, there are a lot of people, you know, trying to catch up with the gear up overall. It's like the most fun gameplay for me. But this is probably because I don't really like min-maxing. Usually it's the point where the game bores me and I'm looking for some other things to check out. Probably that's why I always have loved Ascension, because you could just prestige, try out something new and stuff like that, and there will always a lot of people, you know, just leveling in BG, stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. Fortunately, as we have talked in the comments under the last video, mana storms are kinda killing it. Like, nobody plays RDF because mana storms are faster. Only PvP is in a kinda okay state because, yeah, battlegrounds are still fun and people just love in-player versus play environment. Although, like, open world high risk died out, which is pretty sad to be honest. I have always loved high risk, especially during leveling where there were like no wings whatsoever. Just, you know, random people running around with things they happen to get. Today we're going to be trying out the Primalist in PvP. Recently I've got it to level 50, and now with the co-op population growing, we can actually effectively level through PvP, which currently I fell in love with on Conquest of Azeroth. We start off with some caster gameplay to later on get onto the melee spec that looks pretty damn amazing and is very fun to play, so I hope you enjoy my PvP journey. I still miss 7 levels until 60 on my Primalist, so I decided to finish him off. Especially that the caster Primalist in PvP is shit tons of fun. But we're gonna see this along the way. Let me check one thing. I do have some honor. Yeah, okay, for now it's just better to farm honor. So let's go Drone BG and maybe 1v1 queue as well. I love those 1v1 duels. I always wished that Blizzard actually released something like that. And here we have it. We have 21 amazing classes, 69 great specs, and we can do 1v1 arenas. How cool is that? I mean, this is like a PvPer's heaven, to be honest. Oh, Conquest of Azeroth. We don't really have that many PvE activities yet. For the moment, it's total garbage because we can only do like heroic stuff. But yeah, for PvP, everything's basically open. Ooh, there's quite a lot of people over there, level 58, that could probably mean some trouble, but yeah, let's get this guy rolling. Holy crap. I didn't equip, of course, my trinket. His burst was crazy, actually. Come on, defensives. Quickly, god damn it, I didn't have a chance. Okay, this Sun Cleric is annoying. Let's finish him off finally. Holy crap. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much. Oh my god. That was too much, bro. Okay, this I have so I can give away to somebody else. Jesus. Thank you very much, man. I can probably give away some of those things. Challenger, yeah. This one I have as well. This one as well. This I can give away. The specialization tomes will be useful for sure. This one I can give away. This one as well. This one too. The bags I'm gonna definitely keep. Yeah, roll guys and come to Booty Bay. Or invite me to party and then we will roll. Okay, so I can roll for you guys. Okay, Omaya, I'm rolling for you first. Omaya got 35. 11. Sorry, bro. The fate has decided. What did we receive? Some amazing gun, it seems. Crossbow. Polyarm. That looks pretty damn cool. Oh, this one is nice, actually. Okay, this I can actually have to equip on some other character. Yeah, once again, I'm gonna hear that's all streamer bennies. Holy shit, you left something at mail as well? Ah, okay, shit. Oh my god. 30 slot bag. Oh, I love this mount. Thank you, man. Thank you. You're the MVP. Oh my god, this juicy sword. I love it. And this freaking transmog. Oh my god. Oh, there you are. There you have it. And Omaya, leave me your name, then I'm gonna send some of those things. Your set looks pretty damn cool, to be honest. It's Challenger book, it's both of those and Feather of the Ancients. Yeah, that'll be it. There you go. Oh, they have some juicy healer in there. Will I be able to run away? Probably not. Too many of those, like, whole raiders right on top of me. Holy fuck, leave me alone. I need some heals. What the hell, this freaking pet? He killed me with like 800 in a second, literally. Okay, let's just pick the orb. I'm gonna be killed pretty fast anyway, so... Oh yeah, of course. Tidal Charm, let's go. Let's thank this guy that kept me alive. Yeah, let's go, fuck this. Oh! That was a nice combo. I know it's mostly due to the buffs, but the debuffs, more like... Ah! The damage is nice. When the damage is stacked. Shit. They are being kept. He's full of health back again. Man, we do have quite a lot of instant cast, but they don't really do that much. So it's very easily countered. Okay, let's finish off this guy with some instant cast spells. Oh my god. Windwalker. Okay, let's check the melee. I didn't have so many rage problems with the dual wield. I feel like with two-hander, I sometimes got rage starved. Okay, this looks pretty damn cool. Anyway, I mean, I think I'm pretty much prepared. So, turtle gives me the shell if I need. The boon of the hawk can run down an enemy and root him, which can be pretty good as well. The bear is basically the best for damage. And boon of the tiger, nice mobility and damage as well, I would say. Okay, I think I'm pretty much ready. More or less, at least. Pretty damn good. The pets are doing quite a lot of passive damage. With such rate generation with dual wield, we can instant heal quite a lot. Leave one for me, thank you very much. Oh my god, one stun and I'm already dead. Oh, they want me really. I guess I'm dead already. Oh, I did actually manage to live through this, which is pretty damn cool. Nice. That was pretty intense. Oh, what is this lag? Oh my god. Ah, damn it, you got me once again. Okay, you're right. The crits are so much better with this spec. Oh my god, the freaking thinkers. Okay, the burst is pretty good with a two-hander, let's say. Maybe I need some more practice, I don't know. Go in, bro. Go in. Okay, 2 stuns, one after the other. So yeah, the pet dealt like 25% of my damage. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Nice, root into a stun. Yeah, there are some like certain combos that are very, very good. Nope, you're too good for me. Today, we are back in Conquest of Azeroth and we will be leveling the Cultist class. Decided to try out some new class that I still didn't even ding like level 50. So we've got Cultist today. We will be trying out Godblade for now, but later down the line I want to try out the tanking spec as well. We're gonna, from what I've seen, the mana storms are giving like garbage XP at the moment. So we're gonna work our way through RDF today as much as possible. I have an aura and potions of XP, so this should be pretty quick, I think. Let's grab all those quests from Ascension. We're actually level 11 already, because I did start I was trying it out previously for a little bit. But yeah, level 10 is nothing, let's face it. The Cultist is pretty fun. I mean, they have like one of the most unique resources, and like we have Insanity. We can kill ourselves if we actually generate too much. And we actually got spells that generate Insanity and make some spells stronger, which actually drain that Insanity to not get ourselves crazy. Man, I'm not quite sure if you do guys hear it exactly, but some of the spell effects are freaking obnoxiously loud, and I can hear like other people using spells. This was definitely the case for Blademaster. I mean the Crusader, where the Bladestorm could be heard from like other side of the battleground and stuff like that. Pretty crazy shit, to be honest. Let me check. I've got tendrils in here. Blue ones, not really. A mixture of the two, not so much. Maybe the fire ones. We are more like a shadow class. But yeah, for the moment it is what it is. I like to have everything shown up in here. Throw one, not needed. Cultist. I don't have Eldritch Blood. Ah, those are the caster stuff. Caster things, actually. Entropic Slam. Let me remind myself a little bit. We've got a buff that restores our mana. We've got Entropic Slam. Oh, this actually drains insanity. And Abyssal Strike is like our spammable. That restores mana and generates 1 Void Rune. Damage and healing increased by 1% for Gaze of Seathun. But for the moment, I think I don't have... Ah, Blade of the Empire actually uses the Void Runes. This uses Insanity. This also drains Insanity. So there's like a lot of things that synergize with each other and has to be used to fight properly. Man, I really like the animation of this. Look at this Eldritch something. It's like a wave of shadows going towards the enemy. Oh, it's actually 5 yard range. It's literally like nothing, but sometimes it can be enough to reach a target or not. An Eye of Seathun. Seathun. I did spell it wrongly. I think the tanking spec is one-hander and shield. That's what does the picture shows. It's a shame, I always loved the two-handed tanks, but yeah, there's plenty of classes to choose from. Although yeah, Cultist does really look promising for me, both thematically and playstyle. I mean, there was never like true shadow melee when it comes down to World of Warcraft. We had Subtlety Rogue, which was kind of that type of thing, but let's face it, it was more of an assassin type than a typical warrior or something. Wait a second, because those freaking sound effects are really obnoxiously loud. Let's turn it down a little bit. Okay, this seems to be a little bit better. Oh, did you see those spikes coming out? This smashes up to 8 enemies. It's an AoE, so I'm gonna put it in here. I always love to have like same type of spells on the same keybinds. For example, like a spammable AoE, I always try to put on my V key. My interrupts go onto the... Oh my god, I don't know how it is named, but you know, that key left to your number 1 on the keyboard. I don't know the name for now. Sorry, bros. Okay, just need one more spider in here, and we should be good to go with this quest. Yeah, I need 2 more outside of the cave, but that's not a problem. There's plenty of them. Finish him off with the Eye of Cthulhu. Oh, we have a spell to actually drain the insanity, not only through spells. It's interesting because the Eye of Cthulhu does use the insanity, but it doesn't drain it. The Entropic Slam does actually, so... Eldritch Mending is my standard heal. Okay, let's drop the Samuel's Remain here. We buried him once again. And we should get plenty of levels through this. And there we have it. Level 13. Oh, we forgot about the talents from previous levels. Tentacle of Yashari. Summon Tentacle. For 15 seconds it uses slam attacks to deal physical damage up to 8 enemies in a 10-yard frontal cone when it spawns and whatever Gaze of Cthulhu is used. Holy shit. Yeah, a warrior with tentacles, I'll take it. And we can also pick up a dot. Tentacle of Yashari, Tentacle of Cthulhu. Holy shit, so many tentacles. Or Tentacle of Azeroth. And into the Abyss, there's other tentacle? Not really. It's pretty crazy, bro. Damage of Entropic Slam, reduces cooldown of Abyssal Strike by 1 second, and Entropic Slam by 4 seconds. Wait a second. Abyssal Strike, which one is that? Oh, so like literally removes the cooldown. And then Tropic Slam as well. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. It seems that we're gonna have plenty of AoE damage. So that's good. Holy moly. I know I'm gonna put it on R for the moment. Like, on R I usually like to put some kind of powerful spells. Gaze of Cthulhu now deals additional 60 shadow damage over 9 seconds. Melee critical strikes refresh this effect. Very good shit. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, we're gonna spam this ability like crazy. So let's take it for now. Okay, now we need to dispose of those freaking Crusaders. And we should be good to go. Yeah, level 15 after finishing the initial zone is pretty good. Then we can jump in straight into the Dungeon Finder and slap some faces. For the moment, I want to fool around a little bit with a 200 melee spec DPS, but then I want to check out the tank. Many people are actually asking for some tank gameplay. And yeah, the Cultist one looks really dope, so we're gonna see what it turns into. Yeah, I wanted to check out the tentacle. Oh my god, it looks dope and deals quite a lot of damage. Okay, so it deals auto attacks, but it also uses the frontal cone attack when it spawns and whenever Gaze of Cthulhu is used. Okay, that makes sense. Let's pop the loot bot so it will automatically gather the loot. Yeah, but Bane of the Empire is so freaking... I love those names, man. They fit all those classes so freaking good. It's just awesome. I can spawn it. Holy shit, it spawns next to me. This shit is also good in single target, so I'm gonna bring it back up to 4. Let's summon the tentacle, Cthulhu sheet, AoE, bang bang. So if I do have void runes, I can just spam Blade of the Empire, back up some insanity, and then shoot the Cthulhu. Oh, he also heals. It's pretty dope, although the heal is pretty bad. So it's probably a waste of insanity. Yeah, the whole class fantasies, holy shit, so good. I really love it because they're not like some freshly came up ideas. Interrupt an enemy. Okay, let's put it here. But those are really thought out. I mean, it did took quite a long time to get the classes ready. But yeah, it's still pretty good. I do think they actually took away the caches from the quests. We don't need scrolls anymore, so I guess they are pretty useless. So good call. Now I just hope that the open world will be, let's say, not more difficult, because that's not what we are striving for. Yeah, but maybe meaningful is a good word, actually. And, you know, that we get more of a, like, classic experience. You know, maybe scale up mobs a little bit, or tune down, like, the character numbers. But it will be really good for some open world enjoyment. Okay, there we go. Maybe I'm still gonna go to Brill. Oh no, I don't have the money to actually buy the writing so far. So that doesn't matter, I guess. Oh, more talents. Oh my god. So many choices, that's pretty much overwhelming. Parry chance, increases damage dealt with two-handed weapons by 5%. Entropic slam damage. Oh, N'Zoth Tentacle seems to be a little bit better. It has a slow and will attack up to 3 enemies. Yeah, pretty good shit. Okay, some buffs here and there, nothing crazy. Alright boys, so it's finally time to join some random dungeons. Mana Storms, not thank you. Let's find a group. I think it shouldn't take that long, but who knows. Previously, even as a DPS, I was queuing pretty fast. Yeah, we only need a tank. Okay, never mind. Let's switch up to tanking spec. We're gonna get Entropic Slam for some AoE. This can get in handy. And Tentacle of N'Zoth should be great as well. Here we have increased regeneration by 600% and block value by 15%, but reduces damage dealt by 20%. Teaches Hell of Yshari and Test of Pride. Taunts the enemy and devote yourself to Yshari, allowing Blade of the Empire to cleave 2 targets and increasing block rating by 50% of strength. Okay, pretty good. Block and parry rating by 10% of your intellect. What the hell is this? We're using strength, right? Yeah. Twilight Shield Toss. Hurl a cursed shield dealing 90% to up to 3 enemies and taunting them for 2 seconds. Yeah, seems pretty good. But, I need a shield then. Wait a second, I do have some one-hander. Yeah, probably this one would be the greatest. Oh, I do have some shield, so not a problem. Pretty good. And let's go. Yeah, instant Q. Scarlet Monastery. Wait a second, which one was cleaving? Blade of the Empire. Okay, this one. Oh, I can just drop it like that. That makes sense. Entropic Slam is an AoE, so it's always good to use it. Nice, because I can start slapping them straight up. Big Entropic Slam. Oh, and I've got the Shield Toss as well. Okay, I have absolutely no idea about my survivability, so I'm not gonna go any... not gonna do any crazy shits just yet. But who knows, maybe I can just tank them like that and carry on. Just taunt him. Okay, some AoE to keep everything ready. And I think we can start fighting. Yeah, this shit seems to be pretty efficient so far. Satiate. Look at this, I'm already level 18. RDFXP is the way to go now. It's so good actually because, man, sitting in those freaking mana storms was so annoying already. At least you have some kind of variety now. Can I summon like all tentacles? I think we're standing in some bad shit. Tentacles all over the place. Holy shit, this is so good. Yikes. Too many, I think. No, it's easy. Oh my god. Got slapped. Should probably get them back in. Get them outside. Yeah, I think we still don't have any survivability talents, so we'll be a little bit more careful with this. I completely forgot that I can heal with Gaze of Cthulhu. But it literally does nothing on such a low level. Level 19, I don't know even... When did we get those levels? Really crazy shit. So, okay, let's start this. They will come to us anyway. Okay, let's hide in here. Put down some stuff. So yeah, we pull with the shield. Put down the tentacles. Then go for the one big Entropic Slam and just carry on with Blade of the Empire and Abyssal Strike, it seems. Yeah, like shield, put down AoE, tentacle, and the other one. Oh, I'm getting too much insanity. I wonder if we do have some, like, indicator that insanity is going crazy. Oh yeah, I got red. Satiate. That was some pretty good shit. I actually need a shield. Oh, there you have it. I need it. Yes, perfect. Let's queue once again. Yeah, it was pretty great, to be honest. I mean, the levels go so fast. Okay, let's go as a tank once more. Oh, no, wait. I didn't distribute my points. Completely forgot about it. Take stamina, Entropic Slam damage, or strikes up to 4 enemies. Gaze of Cthulhu. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. Quickly reduce damage, take by 3% and your chance to be critically strike by 6%. It's probably the best way to go, so I don't get any crits. I don't know, let's take the quests as well. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Okay, I should do a little bit better this time. Pop this, Entropic Slam, and do some standard AoE now. Oh yeah, Gaze of Cthulhu is pretty nice now. I'm gonna leave those to slap them. Entropic, shield, put down this guy, get the tentacles. We need more tentacles. Oh, that was pretty powerful. Oh, because I'm already sitting at quite a lot of insanity. Kill him. Okay, this is going pretty nice. Oh, the Cthulhu shit. So good. I think somebody's constantly pulling those in. That's great, actually, tactic. So good. I don't have to move my ass because there's a constant flow of enemies. Okay, let's use this. Satiable. How do you spell it? Satiate or something like that. Oops. Need to be careful a little bit. The insanity seems to be stacking pretty damn fast. It makes you more powerful, but also can kill you very easily, so... Okay, let's hide once again in here. What the hell? Why am I CC'd? Throw this freaking shield, oh my god. I don't know if I have lags or something, but definitely some things don't want to work and cooperate. I mean, it seems the bosses do have a little bit more HP. than usually. But yeah, it's still not a big challenge at all. Okay, nice. I do have 4 heirloom sets, so I don't need those. Heart of Zeal. Teleport out of dungeon. And teleport once more. Where's the freaking ball? I swear to God, somebody did have a ball in here. Never mind. Teleport out of dungeon. Okay, we're done with this. Let's go to Orgrimmar first. Doomcloak. A very short cooldown defensive, I take it. A big AoE tentacle. Parry chance, probably. I don't seem to have that much problem with AoE damage, so no thank you. The Wailing Caverns, Resolve and Growl. Let's take those, why not? Pop my Potion of Experience and we can carry on with the dungeons. Now it's actually pretty good to have that freaking ball with quests. Oh my god, I don't know. I'm gonna take all of those. Maybe one day or at some point we will actually get them completed. One more, please, wait. Thank you. One thing that bothers me so far is that we basically don't... Oh my god, everybody has a ball. So yeah, one thing that bothers me is that so far we don't have any mobility spells. Never mind, just taunt him and we're going forward. Okay, let's throw some shield, AoE tentacle, the slam, Boon for another slam. I've got my defensive, so why not use it? It's only 15-second cooldown, so it's great actually. Nice, it's going very nicely. There's the Razor Lash part. I didn't even notice while playing season 9, because nobody is doing RDFs for leveling anymore. But yeah, they actually scaled everything to all levels, and they actually split all those big instances, so it's pretty good. I mean, I know there are plenty of classes to be tested, but let's face it, it's not like if we leave the XPs as it is, people are going to have all classes on alts within month or 2, depending on how much you play. And if the leveling would be at slower pace and do some more impactful progression within it as well, then it would be freaking awesome. I would love it, to be honest. I know that there are challenges within Ascension WoW, but you know, if it's optional, not many people actually decide to go for it. And the original classic world was actually so fun. I'm not saying, for example, to put instances to a state where you have to use hard CC for bosses or things like that, not for bosses, for trash packs and things like that. The Mythic Plus is to actually get to that point. But you know, if we would have to at least, for example, watch out for some bigger pools, deal a little bit more damage than usually. I've got a shield, nice. There are actually many simple ways to make it more meaningful. The open world leveling and, you know, usual leveling. But yeah, if you've got some talents pending... Okay, let's get one more tentacle. Your next Blade of Empire strikes up to 8 enemies and this spoils the ground beneath your target, reducing the attack power and shadow resistance to enemies. Scales with stamina and increases regeneration by 30%. Pretty good, but I already have so many spells to use that would be really hard to put it somewhere. It's like a quick buff. Wave of Doubt. This looks pretty interesting. Holy fuck. With the shot animation, it looks so freaking cool. Nice. Okay. Another round. Let's go. The queues for tanks are instant, so it's going pretty fast. Holy shit, it's the same wing once again? No, it's not. We ready, bros? Okay, we are. Oh my god, the stun is so freaking long. Jesus Christ. It's crazy, bro. Bang. Love this spell. So much happening, oh my god, and I have so many spells to use already. I think it's kind of bloated. I've got Eldritch Smite, completely forgot about it. I think I need to pick a trinket because it's freaking annoying. They stun so much. Okay, let's pop some defensives just in case. Holy shit. I was just talking about some meaningful, not progression, but meaningful dungeons and stuff like that, and there we have it. I got one-shotted. Such a shame I don't have any defensives. I mean, mobility. Not defensives, I do have one. which didn't help that much, especially that it was 2 fireballs, yeah. And this is supposed to, while active, magic damage taken is reduced by 50%. So that will mean that they hit me for 400, each one of them. Crazy shit. Okay, I have to say I start to feel some of those guys. Did they actually change something? Man, but the visuals of the Cultist are so freaking good. Holy moly. Those fireballs freaking hurt. Oh my god. The healer needs mana? Do you need mana, bro? Nah. Okay then. Freaking fireballs. Oh my god. Come on, interrupt this guy, please. Yes. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, somebody is giving us the speed buff. Very nice of him. Bang. Love this field. Yeah, Turtle War was very interesting when it comes to world-wise. Unfortunately, I feel like new classes are more interesting than the content in itself. Although, yeah, more custom content would increase the longevity as well. Because, yeah, like I said before, that's what I think at least. People are gonna level up those olds, play around a little bit, and they will scream for more content. Insatiable, oh my god, I don't know how to spell this freaking name. The tank, look at this visuals, holy shit. All those tentacles all over the place. Oh, I almost dead. Can I leave through this? I completely forgot that I have a racial silence. Okay, you can die already. Thank you very much. Oh my god, so many talents unlocked now. So many choices. Gaze of Cthulhu and Entropic Slam that generates a Void Rune. Pretty good, because then I can basically delete Abyssal Strike. Gaze of Cthulhu, I don't seem to have any mana problems, so fuck it. Abyssal Ward. On an ally for 10 seconds, the next 3 attacks against them will deal 70% reduced damage and force the attacker to flee in fear. Holy shit. Pretty good, but mostly for PvP, I would say. Book of the Old Gods. Horrible and Abyssal Strike grants you a stack of Book of the Old Gods, increasing your haste. That could be pretty good, but let's see. Reduce magic damage taken by 5% increase armor contribution from items. This is a tanking thing. Yeah, that's also a choice that can be taken. Tentacle of Ishari, it's this one. Block value by 20%. Okay, it seems that I can still die, so I'm gonna take all the defensives. Okay, Earth Song Falls, pretty nice. 26% block, pretty good. Man, I didn't tank for such a long time. The last time I tanked was when the Season 9 released, and I was fooling around with some fresh builds. I did make 2 episodes, I think, about tanking back then. Oh, Omaya, actually, it's good that I see you. Do you have some time to play, during time when I stream? So usually around 10 PM, let's say. Because I wanted to make a group that we could do the Darkest Dungeon challenge with new classes from next week. Yeah, that's perfect, because I'm going for a short vacation during the weekend and probably will be back Tuesday. Ah, okay. That would be nice. Okay, so you said that you love to play as DPS, so we've got one. I can tank with some class. Probably Dart would go as well, but I didn't see him today yet. So we would need 2 people, probably 1 more DPS and some healer preferably. So if somebody is up for the challenge, guys, be sure to leave a comment or PM me on Discord or whatever. Oh, there you are. You were lurking behind the scenes, basically. Yeah, but if you heard Dart, I would love to actually tackle the Darkest Dungeon during leveling. Seems very cool way of leveling. Man, I did see that the Starcallers did plenty of damage. The burst was pretty insane, but they were kinda pretty weak when it comes down to defensives. At least it seems so. Seems nice. Nothing really that crazy. Wait a second. I'm gonna check what are the rewards. Stony Tark is just right here. Where is it? Nightmare, the Darkest Dungeon. Some kind of purple slime skeleton. That's it. Nothing really that fancy, but yeah, it's cool. Look at this. You have to kill every boss, starting from Edwin oh my god, sorry, Van Cleef from level 21. I've got Aura XP for this, no problem. So Dart, would you be up for the challenge as well? Yeah, probably. But you know, even if we don't make it, it's just something fun to do. Yeah, then probably Primalist or Guardian, because Guardians can soak more damage and we will have a healer eventually, so maybe that's actually the best way to go. Yeah, I think that damage reductions are most important in this challenge. Oh my god, wait a second. Find a group. There you are. Yeah, it could be great. I need to get your Discords guys. This would allow us to communicate a little bit easier, not only on streams and in-game. Depends if actually the healers... wait a second. Which way now? I think this one, right? Actually depends if the support class can provide with some very nice damage reductions. I think that in Koa I could even play a healer, because there's like 2 or 3 that actually heal by dealing damage. I know definitely that Primalist is one of those. Holy shit, it's not this way. Yeah, it's like a pure tank. I mean, the group can still be gathered along the way. I mean, considered after we actually have players. No, it's again not this way. Oh my god. I'm completely lost with that map. I think that bosses will not be that hard because you're literally hitting one person. But trash can also be nullified by, for example, a lot of CC. There are plenty of classes with strong AoE CC. But let me know what you think. Would you be interested in tackling such challenge or not really? Hey, Mr. Murky Satan, or... Sorry for that, I don't know how to spell this. How to read it even. Not saying anything about spelling. Yeah, sure thing. Find me on Discord as Venario in Koa or Standard Ascension. So, like I said, guys, if anybody would be interested in tackling the Darkest Dungeons challenge, let me know in the comment section or on Discord in private message. I actually did leave the thread on Conquest of Azeroth forums. Really? Wasn't it supposed to be like 27th or something? Oh no, it's 22, right, correct. What you will be trying out first in PvE. So guys, we can complete the Darkest Dungeons and then farm ZG with that group. How fucking long is this? Too long. Yeah, gear from dungeons is pretty easily obtainable. You still can decide on one class and over the weekend just farm what you need up to like eye level 60 or something. This way? I think so. Yep, that was a good call. A very deadly massive AoE room. Holy fuck. The fears will be annoying. No, also the loot just completely screws my interface. Oh, really? I didn't even notice that. I was just summoning it constantly. What should I play next? Man, there's plenty of choices. Maybe even too many. Holy crap. Out of the random cache from Atal Hakar, I got level 60 Deathbone Spolders. How crazy is this? Yeah, sometimes it still happen. The storm that's happening around is definitely not helping as well. Okay, just kite those idiots. No, it's radio actually. It's usually pretty good, or it was pretty good until some time ago. I had pretty good connection overall, with some drop-offs from time to time, but nothing really that terrible. Wait a minute. I didn't pick the head from the guy. There we go. Alright, let's go for the big dragons. Let's pop some defensive just in case. Man, they fucking hit hard, oh my god. What did exactly happen? I almost lost like most of my HP. So many items, Jesus Christ. Okay, this way I think. Yeah, everybody's going that way, so... Can we get some movement speed buff, please? Can somebody collect the freaking mushroom? Please? Flippin' please? Yeah, that's what I meant. If they almost killed me now, then it will be pretty terrible then. But yeah, let's face it, currently everything is just being face rolled, so... There is some magic damage going on, but it's nothing really that crazy. It's kinda strange. Man, the final boss is pretty tough, to be honest. At least he has some HP. Oh, it's a stun. And you're going down, big bad boy. Go back to sleep, Mr. Eranicus. Okay, that was pretty long, but pretty cool as well. I don't need this quest. Oh, a restart in 30 minutes. All Rock Valley PvP items added with adjusted pricing. Pretty strange. Yeah, because there was like pieces that costed like 5,000 honor. And there were like, for example, bracers. Of course with higher item level, but not that big difference. Was like for 45k and the other things with like 60 were costing like 68k. Pretty big difference. Umbral Voyage. Select a location on the ground to teleport to. After teleporting, up to 5 enemies within 8 yards of you are instantly removed from stealth and horrified for 3 seconds, taking 50% bonus damage for the duration. Pretty interesting, but do I really need it for a tank? Void Shield. Oh, this is some pretty good shit. Yeah, Abyssal Ward. Let's take those defensives quickly. Okay, this is cool. So, Abyssal Ward is pretty heavy. This is only 20-second cooldowns. 50-20. Nice. Another shield, another shield. Horrifying Presence. Who would need some buffs to threat at the moment? Armageddon. I need to have it. Okay, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go for that. I see something cool on the screen. I go for it. Where can I put it? Oh yeah, I know. I'm gonna put the tentacles on A and D. And I'm gonna put Armageddon in here. Okay, give me some new shield, please. Useless, useless, useless. No shields whatsoever. What the hell is this? Oh my god, I completely picked the wrong option and went for the BG. Not on this one, not today. Let's go for tank. Nice looking shield that heals for some crazy amounts. Abyssal Ward. Oh my god, please no. Same dungeon once again. At least I think that this time I know to go straight up right. Wait a second, I messed up with my... Okay, now it's fine. Armageddon. Yeah, it looks pretty damn cool, but I don't know if it's any good. Not quite sure. Oh, it also restores health, so it's pretty good. Now I remember. Oh shit, I can move during that attack. I didn't know. Then Armageddon's pretty good, I have to say. I think that the next class I will actually try out is the Blademaster. They look so freaking cool with all those forms. It's crazy, bro. And they are another highly versatile class, so it's pretty damn good. Oh, finally the boss. Hellfire. Nice. The boss itself dies within seconds. It's so freaking easy to AoE now, it's amazing. I just throw shield and can almost immediately go for the Armageddon to destroy it. This looks so freaking damn cool, especially if you pair it up with this. Oh shit. I thought it's going one by one, but it seems not. If you're under heavy AoE, this can actually drain so much health. It's crazy. Yikes. I popped literally all defensives. Or Armageddon will be good in here. Man, those big badass pulls are what we are living for, right? Yeah, nice healing. The more targets we actually hit, the more healed we get. Okay, let's go for those idiots now. I feel like we actually have too much health now. Oh my god, too many buttons to press. We've got tentacles to keep up, all the cooldowns. Holy 3,000? Ah, okay. Actually, Sheka has been turned hostile against it, and I was slapped with a 3k crit from him. Like a PvP within a dungeon. Pretty nice. Oh, he backed out. Nice slap. Thanks. I got it 3k by... Hey RDK, how you doing, man? Yeah, I just started with the Cultist. Wanted to try it out. Wait a second, we just now need to kill the dragons, right? Holy shit. They literally, like, aggroed from kilometers away. Holy moly. So many. Shit. That was not intended. The guys are still standing and looking over the loot, so no worries. Take your time, boys, take your time. Wait a second, I'm almost dead. With no reliable source of healing. Wait a second. Which way was it? Now I don't remember. Holy shit, this one. Yeah, there are the dragons. Home to Papa. Bang, bang, bang. Armageddon. This is so nice. Nice, we have a speed buff now. Armageddon. Armageddon was interrupted. I constantly feel that the shield I'm throwing is also silencing my enemies like the paladin one did. But it doesn't. But I guess the habits are something you cannot get over. It's over so easily. No, it was not Russian, man. It was Dwarven. How many bears per kill? You greedy bastards. Yeah, that was on purpose. I was just fooling around. Holy shit, I clicked agility. No worries. Loot him maybe. Oh, I've thrown away the quest item. Never mind. I've got so many shitty items from those dungeons, but I have absolutely no idea which and where I should turn it in, so just gonna ignore it for now. Increase the damage absorbed by Void Shield by 20%. I mean, 300 damage is not really that big number. Yeah, this is the tank version. It's pretty cool, to be honest, but I always loved to have some healing on tanks, to be some self-sufficient. But it seems that Cultist doesn't really have it that much. Except for the Armageddon, of course. Oh, the final hour, this is so good. Armageddon also reduces damage taken by 30%. It's great. Yeah, I love Primalist class. Oh my god. It has a lot of self-healing. Yeah, and healing spec on Primalist is also very cool because you're freaking fighting hand to hand right in the face of danger. So, pretty cool concept. Always loved something like that. On retail, we only had like Disciplined Priest that was able to deal damage and heal. Yeah, that's true. I can see that many things that counters like magic stuff. Okay, let's do one more. We've got 9 minutes. So, possibly we will be able to do one more dungeon. Unless we get into the freaking Temple of Atlhakar once again. I remember that in retail, when you went for RDF already, during leveling, like Atlhakar and the Blackrock Mountain dungeon that pop up every time. The Blackrock Mountain was actually pretty cool because you had to kill the interrogator Gestan or something like that. And he was pretty close by, so you could farm it. DPS does not want to get into the dungeon group? Is he freaking mad? What is he thinking, this guy? Never mind, we're a tank, so we have instant Q anyway. Okay, resolve and crawl. Not so bad. We're gonna go for the big fast pulls. What is this? I don't know, big fat pulls. Me, not that type of tank. Okay, we're gonna do this dungeon constantly being on the move. It will be pretty fun. Or should be, at least. Okay, let's recover some mana. Armageddon. Okay, let's leave the tentacles behind me so they can finish off any wanderers that was left over there. Another Armageddon. This spell is so freaking nice. I love it. So, well, now with Armageddon, we actually do have some healing now, which is pretty damn cool. Yikes. Pulled everyone. Oh, big, fat, juicy. Nice. It's actually pretty cool to be going fast like that. Okay, let's pop some defensives. Gonna leave some tentacles. Let him finish him. Nice. Resolve and Crawl is being a very fast dungeon if you do it this way. But I already say that I love Armageddon. And let's go. Charge La Razor Flank, and she's dead. See ya. Pretty good. Restart in 2 minutes. Oh, I got no shield finally. With the Horde mark. Man, the shields are so small on the freaking Blood Oath. I picked the wrong race for this one. Eventually I will have to actually try the Guardian. I think they are quite powerful in PvP. Oh, Sanity Shield. Reduces all damage taken by 1% for each stack of Insanity you have. When used for 8 seconds while active, you lose 5 Insanity every 2 seconds. Pretty damn cool. Parry chance by 5% and block value by 50%. Nice. How much do I actually have? 30% block, 40% parry, 3% dodge. Okay, nice. So we will have a quick restart. Oh, I have a quest to turn in. Adventures in Resolve and Crawl. That should give me a level up, I think. Yeah, it did. Very cool. Oh my god, Void Tendrils, so good. Even more AoE stuff. Okay guys, the restart's going to happen. I'm gonna go snatch some drink from downstairs, so I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, I'm back, server's up. So let's get back in. I'm a tank and I still have to wait for the 2 DPSs. This is really not normal. Oh, maybe my shield actually got fixed? Of course not. Damn it. All demand, but we only have to kill Iron Eye. So it should be no problemo. And big AoE. This is so freaking nice. I love it. Throw some shield. Spikes. I can put down the tentacle. But really no need. On to Papa. And get Armageddoned. If that's even a word. Revelosh. Okay. Let's flip and do it, boys. Let's destroy this bastard. Holy shit. There are some trespassers at our backlines. Wait a second. Now the question is whether we have to collect the stuff. Because if we do... No, I think the requirement has been taken down. Which, in the end, is very good. It just slows down. Did we already open? Did somebody even start opening this? Okay, we've got her. Big AoE. Don't smack me like that, you little BB. Okay, that was pretty quick. Nice. Let's just destroy this. New shield maybe? But a new gun. Attack power now. I prefer stamina probably. What the hell? All did not port over properly. Come on. 5 minutes. Let's go quickly. Maybe we will able to get it over. Get it done. Oh yeah, Scarlet Monastery. Pretty good. Let's go, boys. No slacking. What is this lag? Oh no 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 no. My internet is not coping actually. We're going for the big pull. Or maybe not with such big lags. Nice, it's going pretty well. There are a lot of bends and turns and stuff like that, so it's easier to actually keep them like that. And another big massive pull, nice. Carry on to another one. Okay, we're almost there, boys. Just a couple seconds more. Holy shit, I don't have mana. Let's go. No, in the deepest dungeon you have to go everywhere by foot. That's a big drawback actually. Nice, that was a very nice group. You have to go everywhere by foot, unfortunately. Okay guys, but we reached level 40 actually. It grants a 10% chance to afflict attacks with wavering pride. Attack power reduce. Oh, magic damage taken reduction. I take it. Duration of tentacles. Yeah, this is going to be good. So, today we're going to be checking out the Inquisitor Witch Hunter class, which is the melee spec for Witch Hunters. It's an absolute powerhouse, I tell you, especially in AoE damage. It covers a very nice theme of kind of a Duskwood elite guardsman that fight undead with fire and stuff like that, banish all the evil from the lands. So I really love both playstyle and the theme, so let's dive right in. So guys, the basic premise of this build is that we spend rage for most of our abilities. We have like main ability Slash that generates the rage, and then we have a 2 main attacks, which one is Dawnblade and the second one is Duskblade, that put us in different stances. Duskblade gives us Shadow stance and Dawnblade gives us Light stance. Each stance corresponds differently and provide us with different effects while using certain skills, so it's quite important to jump in between those. As for example, the main premise is that Dawnblade does, for example, apply some kind of a debuff that causes fire damage when we consume it with the Duskblade. And this effect is being applied by simply auto-attacking, so you could say that it kinda applies itself automatically, and kinda is, but the thing is that Dawnblade and Duskblade do incur their separate cooldowns, and it would be good to not use them one by one, but to give them some chance to apply their effects, and then switch to the other one, do a couple of other attacks, and use the other one. This way you can utilize both of the stances, although certain talents also correspond a little bit differently and buff different fields of combat. For example, for AoE, it's better to be in the Duskblade stance, as the Smite Evil, our spammable rage ability, basically deals AoE damage if we're in that corresponding stance. On the other hand, Searing Blade is an attack that has 20-second cooldown, with Purity applies a very powerful dot that deals more damage than its direct counterpart. For the moment, on level 36, I do seem to have a little bit rage problems sometimes, so it's not like you can constantly spam those attacks, which I think is pretty good, because if you did have like endless rage, then probably the slash ability would be completely useless, and all the attacks are very rage intensive, so you need it as much as possible. On top of that, as you can see, we can still utilize our ranged abilities, for example to pull stuff, and mainly just to generate rage as well from the distance, for example. I doubt that it's gonna have like any use in PvP mainly, in PvE mainly, sorry, but in PvP it's great for like poking enemies, generate some rage before going in, so it does have some pretty cool, although niche, usage. On top of that, I can mention that basically everything we do with our attacks does AoE damage. Our blade attacks, the Duskblade and Dawnblade, can hit up to 5 enemies. Smite Evil in the Shadow stance, which is named Wickedness in this case, deals additional Holy Flame damage to up to 8 nearby enemies, which means that basically just by doing your single target rotation, you're gonna still cleave everything around you, like literally. On top of that, we have very nice mobility in form of vault, which we can simply vault in towards the way that we're actually going, and we have a simple charge, which is a pursuit spell that works exactly as a charge from World of Warcraft. We also have Barrow Bolt that can grip the target to us, so mobility wise it's pretty damn good, I would say. As a purely DPS tank class, we don't really have any inherent healing added like with specific spells, although we do have some healing implemented into our spells. For example, Duskblade siphons life from our enemies, so it basically heals us for the damage dealt. In AoE situations, this is a massive heal, to be honest, because we can hit up to 5 targets. And if we're in the Purity state, which is the White Blade, our slash ability heals us for a small amount with every attack. As you can see, I can simply spam it and it's gonna heal me for a small portion. But if I use Dawnblade, look at this, almost... no, this one was pretty small. Seen bigger ones from here. Yeah, 350 times 3 is like almost half of my HP. Haven't tried it that much in PvP just yet, but it looks like an absolute powerhouse to me. This class also has some very fun niche-like flavor skills. For example, Charming Conversation. We can increase the target's reputation gains by 10%, because we're charming, of course. And the other one is Infiltrate. Take on the form of the target enemy, humanoid, beast, undead or demon. And this basically allows us to be neutral to the aggressive creatures. I haven't tested it yet in Mana Storms, but we're gonna get into that really soon. If you want to see the damage breakdown, you can check that Dawnblade and Duskblade, our main abilities, deal the most damage from. All the attacks, melee is pretty high up there as well, because we're using dual wield. Slash is simple spammable, so it's just a simple amount of skill usage that we have to do. That's why it's up here. Smite Evil is that our rage spammable. It's like half the damage of our main abilities, but it has extra utility for that, so... Searing Blade, we can hit it once every 20 seconds for pretty nice amounts of damage. A little bit smaller than the blade skills, but in Purity it applies a very nice dot, so I like to use it like that. Defender of Darkshire is just some auto attack thing that procs. Smite Evil, Wickedness, this is the AoE attack that we do. And Flames of Sin are those attacks that consume the Purity debuff left on the target. That's how it presents. We do have some free space in here for the talents. We have a couple of pretty cool spells in here, but we're gonna talk about them a little bit later when I actually get them, especially that I should get to level 60 anyway today. Other very unique kind of skills for Demon Hunter, oh my god, the Inquisitors, are the tonics and Witch Hunter class overall, which basically are the buffs or heals or whatever you want, or defensives. They kind of act like those short period buffs on long cooldowns, but you cannot use all of them at once. Kind of like shouts from the Primalist, so pretty damn good. I want to check the Midnight. As you can see, increase your dodge chance by 40% for 6 seconds, healing you for 31 every 2 seconds on 3-minute cooldown, so like a proper defensive. Let's check this out and get the Surging Tonic, which is like an offensive spell because it reduces the cost of all abilities and increases haste by 15%. So let's take those. We also have Bola Throw. I took it just simply for PvP. So it has 30-hour range and it can slow enemies by 50% for 8 seconds. Very nice for mobility. In here I did take the mobility route, so I buffed my Pursuit, which roots for 5 seconds now. Sorry, 3 seconds, and reduces the movement speed by additional 2 seconds, so for 8 seconds in total, which is pretty good. For now, for next levels, I'm gonna take Improved Searing Blade, which is that 20-second cooldown, and Searing Hilt basically makes our Searing Blade grant Searing Hilt for 15 seconds, which increases our attack speed and causes melee attacks to generate more rage. Although, there's a very cool spell to be checked. Increases the dealt when by Flames of Sin by 25%. Another cleave, so I'm gonna take it. But here we have very interesting spell, Stake. Drive your concealed stake into the chest of an enemy, dealing weapon damage plus 321, ignores armor. And in Wickedness, which is Shadow Stance, consumes 3 stacks of Sensed Evil to deal additional fire damage. And in Purity, it has 25% increased critical strike chance, so both very good effects. You don't really have to think about it, it just automatically buffs it up. But yeah, 3 stacks is pretty damn good. Yeah, so look at this, the Flame of Sin, which is the skill that consumes this Purity debuff to deal additional damage, deals almost 300 at this point. So consuming 3 stacks would mean additional 900 damage. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Let's see how much Midnight actually does heal. Around 600, yeah, nothing that crazy, but it's a nice addition to this. And Stake is only usable on enemies below 35 maximum health, so we basically have an execute now. Okay, let's get rid of this guy first. Let's drink up a tonic. Okay, and then Stake. Didn't exactly see how much it did, but no worries, we're gonna fix that real soon. Okay, so it seems that Stake deals only 500 damage, which is pretty damn low, considering that Duskblade and Dawnblade deals pretty much the same. And in my opinion, it just bloats the rotation, just not worth it. So I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna go Improved Searing Blade and Searing Hilt. What I like to do is get as many monsters as possible and accumulate a lot of rage in the meantime, and then just start dispatching them with massive AoE. Okay, let's go Mr. Smite. So go into Dawnblade, then Duskblade, apply the dots. My 2 most damaging spells basically reset the phase of Mr. Smite initially. And look at this, he's gonna die now. This is a freaking AoE powerhouse, ladies and gentlemen, and you don't really need to do anything additionally. You just carry on with your single target rotation, and that's simply it. Just make sure to have some rage to spam those. Oh my god, once again Mr. Smite. I think he's pissed after being defeated. And taking into consideration that I don't really have my perfect gear, I took just all my strength heirloom set because, yeah, I do have it. I don't have the Agi one. Oh, the Dark Triad looks very, very cool. A very nice thing is that we got a DPS next to the tank, so we can take many things that reduce our damage taken, which is great, of course. I just love AoE on this class. Look at this, I just jump in, get some rage, bang, bang, 2 hits, and they're dead. Those were only imps, of course, but you get the point. Darkslayer Lantern. Look at this, blast an enemy with Lantern Light for 350 holy damage, and depending on the stance, in Wickedness we deal simply more damage by 100%, and by Impurity it stuns the target for 4 seconds, so yeah, depending on which stance you are, this can be really important. This is so freaking good. Look at this. I just come in, gather them with simple slashes to have rage, and then bump those into their faces and finish them off with the Smite Evil Spender, and that's it. The AoE's burst is pretty damn crazy, to be honest. You know what? I'm gonna try out something. A cast sequence macro, because I think I have found the perfect rotation for this build. Okay, so the macro would look like Dawnblade / Smite Evil, Duskblade / Smite Evil. This way we would maximize all damage and rage usage, but also thanks to occasional slashes, we should be able to keep our rage a pretty good spot. Yep, works pretty nicely so far. I think that eventually I can have some rage problems, but then I have another button exclusively for slash, and then I can pump as much as I want. And then I also have Duskblade and Smite Evil on separate keys, just to pump that AoE. You know what, I even think that for AoE I can do like a separate keybind, and it's gonna be, and would be good as well. Yeah, for single target this works like a charm. And I just put occasional Searing Blade where I know that I'm in Purity stance, which can also be, which also we can create a weak aura for, just to be sure what type of spell we will be using. Occasionally we're running out of rage, but then we can use our separate slash button to give back some rage up. Yes, for AoE we would go Dawnblade, Duskblade, Smite Evil, Smite Evil. It doesn't have any rage generation spell in it, but for AoE I'm usually, you know, stacking the rage first and then just pump. I think we will need 3 Smite Evils to make it work actually. Or maybe just simply put 1 slash in there to get some rage generation. They are dying too fast for the moment, so there's actually no way to check it exactly. Okay, so single target rotation seems to be working like a charm. I even think that I can improve it a little bit, because there's too much waiting between the Dawnblade and Duskblade switch. I could probably get rid of one of the Smite Evil, especially that it does not deal any extra damage than Dawnblade, the purified state, so... Man, this guy has so many absorbs. It's crazy, bro. Finally he died. Obligate. Oh, we also have a 20-yard range disarm. I feel like every class now has some kind of disarm in here. Now, regenerative elixirs. Drinking tonics instantly restores 5% maximum health and 20 rage. This is so good. With all those tonics around, I kind of feel like a freaking witcher. Of course, we do not use the symbols like Witcher himself, but I do see similarities. Okay, let's try without extra Smite Evil. This should be working now. We actually have to wait for the cooldown to go down, so Smite Evil is actually needed anyway. But I'm gonna add it at the end of the rotation, mainly because it's a little bit more powerful with the wickedness added. The funny thing is that, for example, even for AoE, I can use my main rotation sequence, because we're basically using the same spell. In AoE sequence I just have to cast slashes manually, and those can upkeep all the time thanks to clever slashes insertion, let's say. Yeah, let's try like that. Yeah, the only time I would want to use like separate macro or AoE would be if I would be like completely full rage and I want to dump it as fast as possible. Then yeah, it's probably the best choice to do. Otherwise, just spamming my single target is more efficient, because those extra slashes in between do the job perfectly. Man, this Mana Storm is really cool. I love it actually. And fits the theme of Witch Hunter. It's perfect. In PvP, I would actually move that Smite Evil right before I use my Duskblade, because with Smite Evil, with Purity actually provides 10% reduced damage taken for like 12 seconds, so that would mean it's constant and would be really valuable. Okay, let's free the lady and open me the barrier from the witch hut. Let's go in. Come back here. Nice. The vault really is useful. Nice, it's so good with cast sequence actually. Perfect rotation. Here we have got very interesting talents at the very bottom of the tree. Look at this, Vampiric Tonic. Increases healing received by 20% and allows physical attacks to steal health from the target as shadow damage. This is pretty cool, to be honest. Depending how much does it heal and how much does it steal. Like if it adds up additional layer of damage, then it's great. And Smoke Grenade. Throw down a smoke grenade, blinding all enemies in the area, causing them to wander disoriented for 8 seconds. Any damage caused will remove the effect. All allies in the area gain 25 increased movement speed and stealth for 10 seconds. Oh my god, this is freaking AoE Vanish. How cool is that? I want it. I want those two. The power-ups. Reduce the cooldown Smoke Grenade by 60%. 60 seconds increase its range. Attack power by 100 when fighting demons or undead. And some direct damage has some chance to deal some additional, not that big. Increase effectiveness of all tonics by 25%. And using a tonic reduces the cooldown of all other tonics by 10 seconds. Yeah, I think it's the best to not take the power-ups. Just take those two abilities, Smoke Grenade and Vampiric Tonic. Those two seem to be the way to go. I'm prepared to pick up this one. Now I have to check something from this row. I think that Slash now has 30% chance to increase agility by 10% for 8 seconds. Yeah, this sounds cool. And the Vengeful Intent. This is mostly for tank. Melee Haste. Yeah, I'm going to take the passive for now. Fiery Judgment. Look at this. Ignite your weapon for 10 seconds. Increasing your melee haste by 10% for duration / deals additional fire damage. Very, very nice. By Fire Be Purged. This is going to be good as well. Increase attack speed granted by Purity by 5% and damage done. Increase granted by Wickedness by 5%. Very good. Oh, and Burning Rage. Auto attacks now reduce the remaining cooldown of Fiery Judgment by 1 second. So it seems that we're going to go the main ability damage from the middle of the tree and the auto attack buff from the right side of the tree. That's probably the best way to go because auto attacks will also generate more rage thanks to that. And it seems that the stake is not really that good, at least for now. This is a finisher. It should definitely hit harder. I mean, it does consume 3 stacks of wickedness, but I don't feel that it's that much for the moment. Okay, let's take by Fire Be Purged for now, because this is passive. And I don't want to bloat the rotation with another button that eventually we don't really need, to be honest. Wait a second, did I take something? The Lantern, I do have it. One very annoying thing in Witch Hunter is the freaking Vault spell, because yeah, most of the time it just bugs out, you know, goes like has like very strange pathing. But to be fair, a couple spells have problem with that actually. All the charges that go like through a certain amount of terrain rather than going straight up to the target also bugs out. Similarly, it's very chill to play this with the cast sequence macro. Look at this, I don't even have to try. I get some occasional heals here and there, which are also very nice. Pop some coolies, and just spam one button. Okay, so I can just now pull Rage, just like that, go straight up into group and then use the AoE macro to destroy them. Very, very good 2-button spec. I have single target rotation that also works pretty nicely in like Cleave or Chill AoE. If we have full Rage, I have a button that can spend this Rage as fast as possible with the highest damaging skills. And I have one more additional button for a generator, because yeah, sometimes it's just very useful to have that. Okay, level 49, boys. Let's take Fiery Judgment. I wonder how much fire damage 2 slash it's actually gonna give. Dark Region looks like a cool ability because yeah, it's a rage generator. And sometimes this is very, very useful. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 20 rage, instant. And I think it was even overclockable cooldown, so from time to time it's probably gonna be very, very useful. And we got Fiery Judgment. The passive cleave is so freaking good, you don't even have to worry about any additional mobs that come your way, because you will just cleave them passively without even trying. Look at this big group I have taken now. Spam the AoE. Nice. Get some more rage, and once again, big spam. I can get almost to full health with the Duskblade if I have a group. Easy AoE. Now the boss can go down pretty easily as well. I almost always forget to apply that Searing Blade. And this not only deals very nice dot damage, but also increases fire damage taken, so even better. Yeah, Dark Regeneration, very good. It's off the global cooldown, so if you're out of rage, you can just simply click it and get that extra 20 rage. Nothing that big, but it does matter in the long run. Hey there, Herod. Jewel, you and me, bro. You and me. Oh my god, the Fiery Judgment deals freaking 600 damage. Oh man, this actually creates autoplay that I can pop this and then pull a very big amount of rage, like maximum rage in a couple of seconds, and then spend it for our most damaging abilities. Well, let's check it real quick. Yeah, look at this damage from Slash. Now suddenly it became like my most damaging ability. It does have some short cooldown. Look at this, how nicely we're gonna passively destroy those guys next to him. Yeah, be gone, fiend. Somebody's shooting me from afar, but I don't care at this point. I just need to finally create those weak auras in which stance I am actually. Now at least I know when to apply Searing Blade. Okay boys, so we're level 50 now. Let's take, I think, Versta Undeadly. Slash now have 30% chance to increase agility by 10%. Calm under pressure, reduces the cooldown of stoicism. This is great. There's actually a very amazing spell for PvP, but I don't know if we would be able to fit it in. Probably depends, because you would have to take Quick Draw, which has no use for us. And Student of Darkness, increasing physical and shadow damage dealt by 3%. This is actually good. And Daring Escape, jump backwards 30 yards. So it's shit ton of range, causing all ranged attacks to miss you for 2 seconds. So like a perfect disengage, or maybe even engage in the case you need it. You probably all know, guys, how disengage has been used offensively throughout the WoW history, so this could be cool. But for now, I'm not playing PvP. I'm just gonna go for some more damage from this node. Oh yeah, guys, because I'm not really that much into the AoE, not AoE, but Mana Storm updates. What are those two guys that constantly show up? The Nyx and Nocturna. I have to fight those guys like every now and again. They are very hard to kill. Okay, they're going down, guys. Let's see, what do we get from those peeps? Really? Those are the Skrull guys. I didn't know, okay, guys? I had absolutely no idea. Alright boys, that was a quick showcase of the Inquisition Witch Hunter. In my opinion, it's very fun and enjoyable to play, making it possible to use those macros, make the playstyle very fluid and enjoyable. So if you're new to the game but you would like to try it, feel free to use this macro, because this is like DPS without min-maxing. Probably if you want to do the most DPS possible, you would have to track all those buffs and stuff like that. So let's say that in a pretty chaotic environment, like for example PvP or Mana Storms, it's very hard sometimes to track all those things. So if it's possible, why not use a macro for a thing or two to make your life easier? Today we're going to try out the Valkyrie, which is a melee hybrid spec for Sun Cleric in Conquest of Azeroth. We're going to check it in both PvP and PvE scenarios to see how the class goes. And I did already ding it to level 44 to showcase you all the cool and interesting stuff the specialization has to offer. So let's dive right in. Okay guys, so this class is basically a builder spender spec, where you use mana to build some rage and then spend most of the rage to pull off the most damaging things we have in our toolkit. The great thing about this spec is that it's very fluid, and this is due to the fact that we have one spammable ability that costs rage. That's pretty much spammable, but we also have a spender which is a glorious execution that deals massive amounts of damage but has a pretty long cooldown of 15 seconds. But then again, we get spells like Doombringer or Justice, which also deal massive damage, and they are AoE spells that can actually reset the glorious execution and set up even more burst. Sometimes it kind of feels that you lose quite a lot of burst, well, of damage due to this burst phase, although later down the line you get a spell that actually resets not resets, but shortens the cooldown on your main abilities, whether you deal damage, and it doesn't matter if it's auto attacks, its ability, it constantly goes down every time you attack, which in fact does create windows of burst damage, but does not really hinder your overall damage at all, which makes the playstyle really fluid and very engaging and fun to play. It's literally a paladin on steroids at this point, not only because we have crazy amounts of damage, but also crazy mobility with things like Sun Gate that teleports us forward and increases our movement speed while disorienting our enemies, Valkyrie Spear, which basically charges our target with a massive Valkyrie Spear and deals crazy amounts of damage. We also can cast instant spells in forms of damage and healing while spec'd correctly, and we have a crazy cool spell that is packed with everything that you possibly would want on every character, literally, which is immunity, charge, damage, healing even. As you can see, it jumps forward and then rains down the charge right on top of your enemy, and you're basically immune during that period of time, and while landing you deal damage and further reduce your damage taken, which creates some crazy synergy of a Valkyrie avatar that is unstoppable during the charge. On top of that, we have a sunset mechanic, which basically gives us a buff that stacks up to 20, named Solar Power, that further allows us to buff our abilities. Some of those like deal more, has more crit chance, deal more damage, have some instant cast, like for example this Spear of Light. I can just literally spam it during my sunset phase, which creates another crazy burst window. This sunset state does not really have any cooldown, although you have to stack it up to 20 to be able to pull it off, so it does require some pre-planning to be able to pull it off correctly. Some abilities can generate more sun power instantly. Like I said, the best thing is that everything feels pretty smooth and fluid. If you want to quickly stack that sunset, you can just run around and spam Gavel of Atonement to be able to pull it off correctly and fully utilize all the additional damage you can get from your powered up spells. Thanks to all those things, we have crazy amounts of single target and AoE damage. As with Sunset, we can basically spam our spears, like I shown you before, and also every ability we kind of cast, we get a buff that actually reduces the cast time of our single target or AoE damaging ability, depending how we spec. So we can spec more into single target, more into AoE, or as for PvP, for example, we can take more healing to further increase our survivability. We have some crazy AoE stun, and if you really want to, we can further increase our AoE damage by expanding Glorious Execution to hit up to 3 targets, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. As you can see, the burst is pretty deadly. We can get through mana storms very easily just by spamming Gavel of Atonement and stacking up this buff that allows us to instant cast our AoE spell, and then we also build stacks of Sunset to be able to instantly cast it without any previous preparation. Like in this case, look at this, I got Sunset ready, so I pop it, and then I just spam my AoE. I can stun them, bang, 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 and then we spam Gavel of Atonement to proc even more instant casts and to get back to full Sunset earlier, and there we go, we have full Sunset once again, and we can further go into our AoE mode. Thanks to this, it's crazy good for mana storms, especially that we also have some additional spells to use during AoE, like for example our charge that further increases our damage output in AoE situations. And basically all those tools allow us and give us a very, very cool and fun playstyle. Look at this charge, Valkyrie charge. We go in, we pop all the coolies, and we go for some crazy amounts of damage. The rotation can seem a little bit complicated, but when you actually boil it down, it's actually only 4 buttons to press, just in a very concrete sequence. And if you really want it, then you can just simply make a cast sequence macro for burst, and then just in other situations spam your Gavel of Atonement to stack more solar power and get some passive damage to reduce your auto cooldowns. When it comes down to PvP, we're a real force to be reckoned with. With all the charges and burst damage, it's really actually hard to stop us. And in case of tough situations, we can always just run away and carry on to own somebody else. The burst is crazy good and not many classes can actually withstand it. And if you catch somebody off guard without any cooldowns and things like that, you can 100 to O them in seconds. Man, this freaking guard is so annoying. They actually really made them quite deadly. But look at this burst, bang, I managed to kill him before I will actually die. Funny thing is that this class, on top of all the immunities, charges, mobility and stuff like that, also have quite a lot of movement speed reductions that can pin down our targets. Look at this, they all want me. They follow me. Come on, let's bait them. Right around here. Okay, but the battleground ended, so we're going into the next one. As in most of the classes in Conquest of Azeroth, our DPS tree is kind of divided into two playstyles. One is more of like a kind of spellcaster. We have a very big pyroblast that can be made in an instant cast with even more damage. We also have some things that power up our casted abilities from our procs. Or we have the second part of the tree where we go more into melee abilities and make them into AoE powerhouses. Let's charge in, finish off this guy quickly. I get kited as hell and I get killed because I didn't react in time. Yeah, that's the thing in Koa. You either use your cooldowns or you die. There's this Venomancer healer over there. Let's go for him. We get Sungate for teleport, interrupt, finish him off quickly. That was pretty good. The burst damage is pretty crazy, so like I said, you do have to utilize your burst as soon as possible. Stun this guy. He was able to fly away, but he has flown right onto my team, which was pretty crazy. Let's use our immunity real quick. Maybe I will be able to burst him down. Probably not. There's like 3 people on me. We've got some pretty nice action right here. Let's put the Sungate and finish him off. Nice. The good thing about Sungate is that other people can also use it. Oh, I don't know if you have seen it, but this guy just teleported right next to me. Very good. 6 kill, 2 deaths, almost stop damage. And everything is just pure and simple burst. Let's get to the Pyromancer. They are very fragile to kill. Charge down onto this guy. Oh my god, I got rooted on in the air, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, that's the burst we have now. If you go like 3 or 4 classes right on top of you, then you're pretty much dead. I exchanged some kills, so it's not so bad. The rangers are pretty deadly as well, especially the ranged ones. This guy actually seems to be like melee one. Let's grab a Berserker to get a little bit more damage and start bursting down. This guy is going down. There's no running away now, bro. Should look at this range damage. It's pretty crazy. There's a guy on our back. Let's finish him off quickly. Yeah, like 2 spells and literally like half of the HP is gone. It's pretty damn crazy. And big damn. See ya, bro. And see ya me as well. I think I got hit by like 800 Pillar of Flames. Yeah, those Pyromancers hit like freaking trucks, but they can be dispatched with 2 spells as well. I will say this once again. You do not use cooldowns, you go down. Which creates a pretty nice, fast-paced PvP environment. I mean, still many people like, blame the balance or the lack of balance, actually. I can run away with the Sungate because I get focused a little bit too much to my liking. This guy, let's smack him with a Horus Blast. Holy moly. Too much damage, I'm gonna die to dots, probably. Yeah. Yeah, still many people complain about the balance and stuff like that, but I don't know, for now, let's just have some fun. Play what you want, play what is powerful, play what you feel is good. Eventually there's still work in progress, so many things will change actually. Yeah, let's go in. Oh, look at this juicy shoot. Let's stun this guy, maybe try to do some damage. He's got some crazy absorbs. Let's do the attack from the far. teleport for some healing buff, and some other peeps finished him off. Yeah, the Felsworn look pretty cool as well. I usually charge a little bit too fast and then I get slapped. Let's slow him down a little bit with our coolies. Yep, then line of sight a little bit. Okay, I need to wait for my charge abilities. Let's go in now. See ya, bro. Sungate, finish him off, please. Nice with the spell. Should probably hide behind the tree and wait for the coolies. Okay, we've got this, I think. Finish him off. Nice. I'm dying, actually. Could probably pop some coolies, maybe heal a little bit. Nope. Yeah, the Starcaller Rangers, they're crazy amounts of damage as well. But the Chronomancer is actually leading the charts. I've seen some of those Chronomancer deal crazy amounts of damage in dungeons. Like, I mean, the difference was like I was doing 2k or 2.5 maximum, and this guy was rocking a 4k without even trying too much. So yeah, it can go up pretty damn crazy, to be honest. Okay, we got this guy. I need to trinket this and go for some more burst. Thank you very much. There's actually quite a lot of things that you can hide behind, so that helps a lot with this playstyle. Oh, you're going straight up into us? Hello there, bro. And see ya. Let's see how much I can hit with the spell. Oh my god, 800 crit. That had to hurt. Charge in, quick burst. Yeah, pretty fun, pretty fun. What can I say? Does this guy want me, really? You're going down, mate. I always forget that I have that freaking poison removal. I have it bound to some very, very far away key. I don't have mana, but I will probably die because of that. Yes. And the Starcallers do seem to have some kind of vanish or something, so... Let's go, try to do some burst. Oh my god, I think I will get overwhelmed. Let's go up, try to at least do some damage. Nope, too many. I actually turn on YOLO mode too many times. There we've got the Circa buff, let's go for this guy. Stun him maybe. Oh no, didn't actually happen. But I have pretty nice range on my spells as well. What the hell, why can't I hit him? Okay, and let's finish him off with the glorious charge. That was pretty amazing, to be honest. Okay guys, we have actually capped the second flag, so this BG is kind of over. So let's try out some PvE dungeons now. So I'm gonna go back into the both trees in a second. For a second, sorry. Just to finish off my thoughts, because like I said, right side of the tree is physical abilities like Justice, fiery weapons that allow Gavel of Atonement to hit with both weapons, stuff like that. So the right side is for fire and physical damage, which ends up with Valkyr's Grip, which is literally a Titan's Grip equivalent for some clerics that allows us to wield two-handed weapons but reduce our holy damage to kind of differentiate the playstyle from hybrid to more of a fiery warrior, which kind of resembles Fury Warrior, to be honest, with all the spinning attacks like Justice, which resembles the Fury ability that also dealt AoE fire damage. Can't remember the name exactly, but yeah, there are some similarities. So right side physical and two-handed route, while left side is more into like spells that are being generated from stacking the Daybreak from the Sunsworn talent, and allows us to instant cast heal AoEs, Horusath Blast, which is that Pyroblast that can be cast every now and again, that ends up with a talent that Chains of Light reset the cooldown of Glorious Execution, which is still a melee ability, but thanks to this spell it allows it to use it more often, so it's up to you. But yeah, I probably believe that most people will actually go for the Valkyr's Grip. That's also what I'm looking for currently. We're gonna get into that later. Nice, we've got plenty of spells, plenty of quests for this one actually. So should be pretty nice for this one. Let's try to do some AoE stuff in the meantime. As you can see, currently we're absolutely destroying the meters, but yeah, those are just leveling dungeons, so the DPS is not scaling like on retail, for example. And I'm level 51, so it's pretty obvious I'm gonna be doing some crazy damage in here, even with those lags. There's also a talent that makes our Glorious Execution hit up to 3 targets, which I should probably spec into to further increase my AoE damage in dungeons like this one. But yeah, I will probably not have time for this now. Look at this burst on this guy. Let's do the charge, which is kind of cringe in that underground dungeon. There's a pretty funny situation. We have a Scorpion Bang and he actually couldn't fit the freaking entrance. Pretty hilarious, to be honest. Yikes, completely forgot about picking up the head quests. Now I need... This guy is pretty freaking funny. He cannot, like, take anyone in here because he's just literally too big. Oh my goodness, being... Tank died. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Nice, give me the head now. What? Why there's no head? Ah, it's Basil Thread. We need one more guy for the quest. So I fucked up, guys, because yeah, I didn't turn in the quests. They are all over the place now and I cannot turn them in. Today's video we're gonna dive deep into the heroic Zul Gurub with my not so geared Witch Hunter. My item level is only 45, but I still did manage to find a group to get onto the recently released ZG on the Conquest of Azeroth realm. Hope you enjoy the video. Okay, and then finally we have started clearing some trash. Finally, some PvE action on Conquest of Azeroth. Holy moly, the trashes has cleared us very fast. But after the initial packs, I was very happy with my DPS. As you can see, 3.5k, only Barbarians leading the way, which are pretty overpowered at the moment. And Witch Hunter has an amazing ability. As you can see, I can turn into this freaking Raven and get Godspeed. Quick off topic, I have always really loved how Zul Gurub looks like. The whole Stranglethorn veil was pretty amazing in the first place, but yeah, this instant is so freaking cool. Unfortunately, when it came down to single target, I started to drop, but I guess 6th place out of 20 is not so bad, so I take it. Unfortunately, I did manage to find myself a couple of times in a pretty sticky situations, and eventually I did die. But all in all, I wasn't alone, so I didn't feel that bad for myself, especially while pumping on the DPS meters with item level of 37, which is a whooping amount. Eventually it turned out that we were constantly dying to some kind of unstable concoction from the bats that dealt instantly 5000 fire damage, and if they popped it simultaneously, then whole melee packs were dying instantly almost. Definitely a tank's fault, so I didn't really care that much. Just kidding. I'm not hating anybody, especially that I'm not the smartest in the pack. Then I noticed that there is actually an information that those guys go mad and then they explode. So I guess I just have to pay more attention, I guess. Eventually we managed to clear the bats from the whole altar of Hirek, and the fight with the High Priestess Jacklick has begun. It wasn't really the sharpest blade in the raid in single target, but the whooping 2.8k DPS and the 7th place wasn't really that bad, so I take it. We did get plenty of loot, which I didn't get any share of, although the boss went really smooth. We didn't have any problems, no wipes whatsoever, but it seems that bosses are easier than the trash. Let's carry on. Unfortunately, when it comes down to High Priest Venoxis, I did lose half of a fight because of a big lag DC and then my launcher that decided it would be a cool thing update in the middle of the raid. The Venoxis boss did eventually die pretty smooth, no any extra mechanics or anything like that. The loot was plenty. Although most of this stuff was for the casters, I did manage to put a need on a leather piece with some agility and spell power, because witch hunters use both physical and magical damage, and we also have a talent that basically gives us spell damage by 50% of our attack power and attack power by 50% of our intellect. So usually shaman gear is literally like perfect for us, although pure agility with some additional spell power would be nice as well, because we spell power increases our magic damage, which is the fire part that we're doing, and the physical damage, of course, is pure weapon damage that scales off also very nicely. Oh, but during fighting the trash mobs, Zulian Hacker of the Bear fell down, so I needed immediately, and I won! Holy Jesus Christ, this will be a massive upgrade, especially that I will be replacing my heirloom weapon. Look at this, 400 damage. When we switch, it's actually worse. Okay, I will have to think it through. Maybe the stats are better. We'll see, we'll see. This is mostly strength, but this weapon is a lot slower, so probably should go into my offhand with some hit rating on. They should help definitely. Especially that witch hunters don't really use offhand weapon damage, because, you know, we don't have skills that hit with both weapons and stuff like that. So only main hand weapon counts. And I actually think that the best way to go for witch hunter would be fast offhand to apply most amounts of debuff as we possibly can. When it comes down to trash, it seemed that only the bats were a little bit deadly, at least until now. The rest was going pretty smooth, and we were actually making our way to the Bloodlord Mandokir with ease. The right leader decided to drop a raid warning about some tactic for this boss. And if you're interested in the DPS meters from Conquest of Azeroth, Barbarians are topping the charts. Look at this, 75k. First is Knight of Zoroth, actually. Of course, we're not taking into consideration any gear, because I'm not going to be inspecting the whole raid. But yeah, Knight of Zoroth, then 3 Barbarians with a Necromancer in between, another Barbarian on 6th place, and then on level 7, actually there's my very humble name. But in this case, I definitely know that I'm pretty heavily undergeared, so I wouldn't take it as a big indicator. There was a very messy pull in the Mandokir's domain, but it seems that after leaving his area, we were able to reset it and finish off the trash. Like I said in my review video, the best thing about Witch Hunter is that basically everything we do is AoE except for like auto attacks and slash skill, which is our basic for generating rage. Other than that, everything clears pretty much. But after trying like things like Barbarian as well myself, I can say the same thing about other classes. Maybe not like all the spells like in Witch Hunter. In the Witch Hunter's case, but those spells that actually cleave are still in a single target rotation, and they deal crazy amounts of damage. That's why they are topping the charts with ease. Now the area has been cleared, and we were ready to face the Bloodlord Mandokir. Zug. But if we take a look at those Barbarians, you can see that basically all of their gear is heroic. So I think that if I would be geared, we could pretty much match the DPS of those guys. But it's still alpha, it's not that relevant, things are still indeed changed, so let's just enjoy some Zul Gurub. The fight started very nicely. The tank was keeping aggro on the Raptor, and we were slapping the Mandokir, although there was small detail that I didn't take into consideration. I wasn't exactly paying attention for the Blade Storm, and I have been slapped a little bit too much. I went into the Spirit Realm and wasn't exactly sure what I am supposed to do, and eventually just died to the spirits that were constantly chasing me. So yeah, I guess we have to add another corpse run. So in the end, it turned out that we have wiped the first attempt, by the time I came back, of course. So now the tactics were a little bit more clear after some explanations, so I think the second attempt looked a little bit more promising. Basic tactics: rest others, hope you get rest, and don't die. Let's roll. One very good thing about Witch Hunters also that we still have our ranged abilities from crossbow or gun, so even if we get into a range situation, like running away from Bladestorm in this case, we can still continue at least some of our DPS, which of course isn't as good as the normal one, but it's still pretty damn good. We also have Vault ability, which allows us to almost instantly run away from sticky situations. I wanted to resurrect somebody actually in the realm of the dead, but I was not able to, unfortunately. It does take a while to cast, and I will probably die before I will be able to res it. But yeah, for the whole fight, I didn't die that many times, and it was only like 5% left of his HP. So we count this one as a success. My DPS was going very nicely throughout the fight, but yeah, eventually the details meters are soaked red with the blood of the fallen, with barbarians and one Cox leading the charge. Oh, we had a very nice Warblade of the Hakari drop and a Swift Razashi Raptor. I love raptors, so I of course need it, and lost it. Before the next spider boss, High Priestess Mareli, we're actually on the timer, as in 20 minutes there was a server restart, thankfully only for 2 minutes, so it wasn't a big deal, but it could still interrupt the boss fight, so we actually wanted to kill him before they turn off the server. This is one of the big drawbacks of the alpha. It is what it is, we just have to swallow it for the moment. Basic tactic, try to kick Drain Life and move out of poison. Got it. Zug. Drain Life interrupted very cleanly, and we carry on with the massive DPS parses. Throughout the fight, the Drain Lives have been interrupted constantly, so nothing really went through. I really loved this fight as it was very cleave friendly, so I could drop some very nice numbers. Personally, of course, because as usual, Details was soaking red from the freaking barbarians with a little bit of a purple necromancy color. But if you're curious, the Necromancer was actually playing the summoning tree, so it's not the Frost one that I have showcased recently. And in my opinion, Frost is the most satisfying of all of those necromancy specs. But I guess it's a personal preference, so up to you, bros. So, the boss went pretty smoothly, the poison was not really that deadly as it was supposed to be, and actually 2 very nice rings with hit rating dropped. So I needed both, hoping for some RNG God's Luck or Blessing or whatever, which eventually didn't happen. So we managed to kill the boss and still had plenty of minutes before the server shut down, so we rushed for another one. But unfortunately we didn't make it before the server restart, and it actually took a little bit longer than we expected. Unfortunately, I had to finish for that day, so for a quick summary, it was very fun to do the new raid with the new classes, definitely a refreshing experience, even though the content is the same as on every other classic server. New classes do create some new interactions and stuff like that, so it was definitely very fun. It was also good to see some lower numbers on the DPS meters, but it seems that the difference between my undergeared character and geared barbarians was basically like 2x multiplier, which means that with higher gear ceiling from Nax, for example, you can probably reach crazy amounts of DPS, maybe even reaching the same amounts as on the Elune server, so that wasn't really something I expected after Koa. So I do have some hopes up that they will tune down the numbers a little bit, as I love the ones we see currently, but it's still due to change, but the future will tell. Definitely recommend trying out Zul Gurub with the new classes. Lots of fun, Witch Hunter, amazing class to try out, and as you can see, has some pretty nice performance in raid environment as well. It's a shame that we didn't have a chance to finish this raid for today, but I will definitely try out more of it in the future. In today's video, we're gonna fully embrace the frozen chaos of the Necromancer in the Rhyme spec, which will allow us to truly become a frozen Lich. Hope you enjoyed the video. So the Necromancer spec is revolving around the summons. No matter which spec you choose, you have to utilize the summons as much as possible, and this is very cool because I thought that maybe depending on the spec we will have to adapt our playstyle to kinda utilize the spells, but the spec forces us into. Although it turned out completely different, it seems that Ascension team did create a summons that fit the playstyle of each specialization, and you can utilize them to get the maximum out of it. We use runic power and mana as a resource. As expected, mana spells generate runic power, and runic power is spent for more powerful abilities and spells. We can create some very crazy and deadly combos with our minions, and Frostback is pretty amazing thanks to the thing that basically everything we do is kind of slowing down your enemies, very often not even having time to react. And by utilizing our instant cast spells and our powerful minions, we can literally destroy groups of monsters in seconds, basically. Our single target spender gets an ability to cleave enemies, and we're also getting an auto-cleave thanks to the fact that our frost mages, skeletal mages, basically hit everybody in their sight. The minions can be controlled in various ways, which basically allows us to have personal tanks and offensive supporters, or we can put them on passive to not interrupt, but this is not really what we wish to. AoE is massive in this spec, and we basically get so many good things to utilize it even further. It's just getting really crazy. We get a very nice array of instant cast spells, so even in PvP there are situations where we can cast on the move, and this is even better thanks to the fact that we basically slow down everybody we touch. On top of that, we also have some dots in our array that mostly are being applied passively thanks to our toolkit, with things like Winds of Nordtread, which put a field underneath our enemies' feet that allow us to literally destroy a whole bunch of mobs in a couple of seconds. And if somebody lives through that, we can always finish them off with a Lich Frost Cleave to further utilize our AoE damage and potential. On top of everything, it's very flashy, leaving pools of frost everywhere, ice barrages flying all over the place. In CC department we are also pretty weak. We have stuns, we have roots, terrifies, we also have some absorption shield, because of course we don't have any passive healing or anything like that, so a shield that can keep us alive is very important in this matter. So if anybody ever imagined of being a literal health wizard in World of Warcraft, this definitely is a class for you, and you will thoroughly enjoy it. In PvP we do have some very nice tools to keep ourselves alive, mostly thanks to the shields and the CC we do possess. We can put out quite a lot of pressure on the enemy team, especially if the procs align, and we get all the instant damaging spells ready. Also, our kiting abilities are pretty good, as we can deal damage. Look at this burst, nice, almost. But if you take a look at the damage meters, you can see that we are basically topping the charts, and the funny thing is that two of our most damaging abilities are from the grave mages, so our pets. This just shows how powerful those guys actually are. We don't really have any heals, but in case of emergency we can always sacrifice undead, healing for 5% of our maximum health each, and then we get an ability to instantly resummon them, so it is an option. All in all, there's quite a lot of micromanagement, especially with the pets, although their AI is not really that terrible, and usually they attack the thing that we actually point. Great thing is that when we have a lot of targets to hit, we get quite a lot of instant cast procs, and it gets doubled down if we are able to cast, so that's pretty good. When it comes down to defensive cooldowns, they are not like something amazing truly or anything like that, but from time to time they do allow us to live through the initial damage with the immunity and some damage reduction. One big drawback definitely is that we have a lot of summoning and rebuffing after each death, which can get really annoying sometimes, but it is what it is for now. Definitely it's really hard. As you can see, I'm fighting this Necro and his archers are literally shitting on me. I did manage to get him this time as well, but he did get me too. And he's 5 levels above, so I would kinda explain this. Oops, there's some powerful Barbarian coming our way. Let's see how the duel would actually fare with this guy. It's a ranged Barbarian, fortunately, so I'm probably dead. Maybe not. Almost. He's 9 levels above me, so if that was a melee, he would have no chance. I'm constantly forgetting about my shield, to be honest. And we do have this amazing spell, which is named Flow of Frost for PvP, that when we give our command to our mages to attack, they also apply shield to themselves and also our allies, including ourselves, so it's pretty powerful, to be honest. Although I'm not spec'd into that because I was playing some PvE. Overall, I would say the class is very fun to play. We have plenty of stuff to actually deal massive amounts of burst, as you can see. Look, they have been cleaved like babies. Oh, got him out of stealth, nice. Yeah, I still managed to kill one, even though they attacked me 3v1 in this BG. Look at this damage, 13,000. Look at this, there's just 3 guys chasing after me. And one of those guys say, come on, we just want XP. Earn it, bro. Earn it. Maybe we can play around a little bit. Let's see if it will be possible. Oh, no, the BG ended. All in all, the spec is amazing. I didn't really expect it. So much active playstyle. You can do many things on the move. You have many buttons to press. It's very APM heavy, but when you see those numbers and all your big damage comes out, it's so freaking satisfying. And I still don't have all my things from like Plaguebringer that increases our magic damage dealt by 25%, and Frost Lich form, also pretty amazing. So yeah, definitely worth trying. In today's video, we're going to check out the Barbarian class, which is one of the easiest, yet one of the deadliest in new Conquest of Azeroth. One of the best things about Barbarian is its simplicity. You don't really have to track any of the debuffs or stuff like that. You go full carnage, you just destroy stuff, and you use basically your things on cooldown to get as much DPS as possible. The only thing you actually have to take a look at are your carnage stacks, which basically increase the damage your target takes and is used to actually kind of like a combo points to utilize to pull off our most deadly attacks. Otherwise, our attacks are actually equipped with a very nice amount of cleave, which allows us to hit many targets during simple single target rotation. For many people, this is actually a very big advantage, especially if you are still learning the game. Other than that, the rotation is pretty smooth as it's based on the cooldowns that you have available for the moment. Although it's very dynamic, as many spells can actually reset off each other. But yes, your basic principle is to have all your offensive skills on cooldown, and when you get to 10 stacks of carnage, or how many stacks you actually can have, because this differs depending on your talent setup, you basically consume them and deal massive amounts of damage. We don't really have some like crazy amounts of mobility or anything like that. But we are pretty fast. We crate for crazy amounts when things align. And our finishing moves that actually spend the carnage are off the global cooldown, which makes this spec very, very fast-paced. Look at this, I will try to do this as well. Big cooldowns. Oh my god, he killed me before I managed to get him. But yeah, let's get into some BGs in the meantime. Oh, I actually did manage to get one. I don't really have optimal spec for this. I'm gonna take Mock, but because this is very good slow actually. Okay, let's go in and see if barbarians are worth anything in PvP. Oh, I got teleported instantly. I don't exactly know what happened. And I got destroyed. I didn't try it out yet. But actually the headhunting, the ranged throwing barbarian is actually a very powerful one from what I heard and from what I've seen. Because I did face a couple of those already. Especially in my early core days as a Primalist. Unfortunately I don't have thrown weapon, but if I do happen to get one, we will definitely try it out. My god, those cultists just teleport me to them and they simply kill me in a couple of seconds. Oh my god. Yeah, I guess they're just gonna camp us in this BG, so it's not gonna be that great. Okay, there's no point. These BGs are lost. They're just gonna camp our spawn, so... Okay, thankfully I did manage to find a very decent throne on the auction house on level 35. So let's grab it and let's actually check the headhunting spec. Brutality is very nice to play, but we've probably seen something like that already. And I can assure you that the BG I just showcased for a second is not showing the true strength that the Barbarian possesses. It has like one of the most explosive and bursty damage in the game. But first, I don't have the perfect build for it, and secondly, yeah, you've seen what has happened there. So, let's go for the headhunting. Oh, so I have finally found a talent that made Barbarians so hard to kill. While at or below 35% health, gain 10% increased damage, 40% energy cost reduction, and regenerates 5% maximum health every 3 seconds. So it's like a second wind from Mists of Pandaria that warriors had. Amazing talent for PvP. Especially for headhunters, as they have amazing kiting capabilities. Okay, so we have one very big drawback in Mana Storms already. It seems that the dead zone still works in Mana Storms, so we basically cannot even like kill the boss, which is terrible. Oh my god. So yeah, if you want, go for brutality for Mana Storms, and yeah, let's check out how will we actually do in the BG. Okay, it seems that Eye of the Storm is already on. Let's join the fray. Okay, let's start some pumpage, throw some axes into this guy. Bang, big damage. Oh my god, look at this. You are just simply throwing everything from a safe spot and people are just literally dying. Oh my god. It's crazy stuff, bro. We've got mobility, we've got damage. This guy definitely is pretty crazy. Now we slowed him down. Throw some axes. Look at those crits. Oh my god. Everything from range, from safe spot. No doubt it was so hard to actually fight against those guys. Spam some instants. Bang, bang, bang. Nice. We've got some AoE if needed. I have mobility. You cannot do that much. Nice. We've got almost like permanent movement speed as well. Let's check this ability. We're throwing axes constantly. Bang. Nice. You cannot run from both of us. You have to die. See ya, bro. Let's charge. slow him down. Start throwing some axes. Nice. We can leap away without too much problem. Start throwing some axes onto him. Okay, we got stunned. Yeah, eventually they got us, but still. I just joined BG and I got 6 kills already, 12,000 damage, and we won. Hey guys, so today's a little bit quicker video due to the fact that there are no BGQs or RDF, and we cannot actually test the headhunting in the Mana Storms because, yeah, the range is kind of fucked up. So I definitely recommend the Barbarian though. The headhunting playstyle is really cool, especially in BGs. Can't blame why so many people play them actually. And from what I checked in the raids, the brutality ones, the melee one, have amazing DPS when it comes down to raids and heroics overall. So as you can see, the class is very versatile, great for PvP, great for PvE, whichever you want. And additionally, you also have a support spec, which I'm not really into that much, so, but it's up to you to decide to test it out or not. You're going to be playing the Van Helsing character in World of Warcraft, which is basically a bolt slinger spec for witch hunters. We're going to test out today if it's any worth playing and how fun it actually is, since Witch Hunter will be my main for Conquest of Azeroth, at least for now. I want to dive a little bit deeper into this spec, so I hope you enjoy the video. One big advantage of the whole Witch Hunter class is that we can basically get to almost any place we want in Azeroth. As you can see, now I'm in the mountain range between Undercity and the Alterac Valley, so it was pretty easy to actually get here when I found the perfect point. So yeah, I really love what this class can do in terms of climbing. And now you can take a look at the Undercity from the mountaintop. Not that epic, is it? But let's have a look what we can actually see inside. So for this, we pop our Raven and we can fly, but not that long. And look at this. I'm actually stuck while flying now. I need to wait for my other cooldowns, and then we'll see where it will take us. I should have just jumped down. There you go. We did manage to get here anyway. So let's pop our mount and try to jump on top of the Undercity walls. And I was running over something. But yeah, World of Warcraft is being known from glitches like that and no textures at all, because you're not supposed to get here in the first place. Shame. I thought that at least I can get to the outline border of the Undercity, but it's empty. It's a shame. Anyways, guys, back on topic, because it seems that I cannot find any group for random dungeon finders, so we're gonna do some Mana Storms. So, Witch Hunter, a very spammy class. As you can see, look at those shots just dropping like crazy. We also have some sort of Blade Storm of our own. Other than that, it's kind of complicated spec, I would say, in terms of spam ability, because you have so many buttons. The problem is that your basic ability is Coiling Shot, which actually is required to shoot any other ability in your toolkit, which makes it a lot more too spammy to my liking, but I guess everybody can have their own taste. As you can see at my bars now, look at this, I'm just spamming number 2, because to even play this class, I had to make myself macros to kind of help it. I have a burst macro to shoot my 2 most damaging abilities, which is Heartstone Bolt and Witching Bolt. Oh my god. Yeah, so there's that. When it comes to bolts, of course, on top of that, we have Witchbane and Heart-Seeking Bolt, which are our 2 very hard-hitting abilities. And what is quite important, they regenerate mana. And mana is the biggest problem in here. So yeah, but have you seen I did like 7k over there? So it was pretty cool. It's not really that bursty class, although it does have its moments. The biggest drawback being that it has quite a big ramp up time. But when you actually start rolling it, you can see some very big numbers being popped in a short period of time. And having a Bladestorm as a range class is very, very cool. Also, we have quite a lot of self-healing for like a range class, I would say. Because both our Witching Bolts and Heart-Seeking Bolts can heal us if spec'd correctly, which is great for PvP, to be honest. Other than that, what I love about this class is mobility. Look at this, we're constantly running on 30% movement speed and it can be extended even more. The Dark Frenzy spell, which is the Bladestorm I have mentioned, is that cool spell from Diablo when you actually should have 2 crossbows and start shooting the mobs like crazy morpho you are. But yeah, at this, it's kind of hard to probably make it mechanically for Ascension because, you know, they don't have proper animations. But yeah, the whole idea was pretty cool in my opinion. So it's good that they try things like that actually to make something original and yeah, very cool thematically because we are basically a Van Helsing. We have very nice mobility, we can jump back, jump forward, we can turn into very fast Raven that can also fly for the time being. So yeah, we really do have very, very cool spells in our toolkit. The main issue were definitely those spammy abilities, but if you like very fast-paced playstyle, this will definitely be one of your favorites. Also, as a Witch Hunter overall, we have quite a nice array of defensive cooldowns from our overall Witch Hunter tree, which is very, very cool to have. Our 5-target AoE damage seems to be very cool because we only need to upkeep Ricochet spell, which is a 20 rage cost ability. That then makes our bolt abilities, so the main ones, not that spammy one, basically deal damage to 5 targets. On top of that, we have some random procs that also deal damage in AoE situations. So overall, we just continue our spammy playstyle while upkeeping 1 buff, literally. So yeah, nothing really that hard. If you can just literally upkeep that 1 little buff and not forget about it. Although yeah, having Bladestorm ability is always very cool to have, so I'm a big fan of it. Also, one very good point about this spec is that it doesn't really have the dead zone range, so you can basically spam your abilities even from point blank. So this makes the spec even more appealing, I would say. One shitty thing about the spec is that it has very, very heavy mana problems, and we are kind of forced to use one talent that makes our Vault, which is our main mobility skill, use it constantly to upkeep our mana. Maybe that was like a design idea to make you on the move constantly, but I don't know, sometimes it just feels not right that I have to press mobility button to even be able to deal damage. But I guess that's something that you have to decide for yourself. The very cool playstyle in Mana Storm is that we can basically sidewalk from the Mana Storm while upkeeping the AoE damage and just literally kill everything, only hiding from time to time to get rid of the casters, and that's it. The shots look pretty damn cool, and as you can see, the mobility, it's just crazy, bro. Big damage from our Bladestorm and Lady Anaconda is gone. So like I said, if you like fast-paced spammy ranges, this spec will definitely be for you and you will have shit tons of fun playing it. As for PvP, we've got some very, very nice defensive cooldowns and amazing mobility to actually keep ourselves alive. Although the sustained damage is pretty nice, we do kinda like in burst department. Although it's not totally useless or anything like that, we do have a ramp up time and we need to actually stack that rage and get some shots off before we can actually do anything useful. But if stars align and we get all those shots at once in a very quick succession, it can really deal some crazy damage. So that's definitely something cool to see and keep in mind while trying out the class. Other than that, our offensive cooldown, which is Dark Frenzy, the Bladestorm I was talking about earlier, also gives us some defensive capabilities, so it's very, very nice to use. For example, in a group of people, and then disengage with your mobility skills and stuff like that. So there are quite a lot of like options to consider while trying to deal damage. Although most of the time you still want to just, you know, keep yourself at backline, safe, shooting those crazy fast bolts, because basically nobody can stop you. You are that fast. You also have some slows and stuns if needed. Usually what I like to do for burst is just cap my rage at 100 when it's possible, when I have my heart-seeking bolt up, and then I'm gonna shoot the Witchbane and then heart-seeking. This usually gives you like the maximum burst you can potentially get. But yeah, the playstyle is rather spammy and just simply mashing those buttons to get those smaller yet very sustained numbers on the screen, and in hopes that somebody will finally get tired and die. Just kidding, it's not so bad. It's not so bad, but could be better, what can I say? Look at this, we're gonna try to burst down this guy. Actually, his health is going down not so bad, but unfortunately he's got a healer, so it's time to run, and we have an amazing hawk for this. For the situations like this, we can just disengage, pick out another fight, and try to help our teammates. We've got one dot that we possibly want to keep for as long as possible. The good thing is also that we have some very, very nice sustained healing, because our Witching Bolt and Heartstop Bolt do heal us, so it does help out quite a lot in survivability department. Let's try to spin. Also, we have a very cool talent that during this spin we have very nicely increased dodge chance, so it's nice to have. We do have some healing, and this allows us to spam a little bit of this damage here and there. Let's try to do our burst rotation. I think I hit it for like 800. If it would crit, it wouldn't be that bad, but yeah, it's still nothing really that amazing. Look at this, those two rangers just shooting from my backs from stealth. Let's see at some statistics. I got 3 kills and dealt around almost like 60,000 damage, which is not really that crazy. I'm like middle of the pack. And as you have seen, I'm constantly running, trying to hit things, especially that I'm ranged. So although I do understand that this is like one of the most mobile classes, ranged classes that this game have, you basically do not ever have to stop to cast something or anything like that. So yeah, it does have to have its own drawbacks, because it would be a little bit too powerful. So guys, that's it when it comes down to the Witch Hunter, Bolt Slinger on Van Helsing spec, whatever you want. Have you ever wondered if you can create a Witcher class in World of Warcraft? Well, this is exactly what you can see today. The Black Knight Witchmaster is exactly what you expect from a Witcher. Sipping tonics, wielding a mighty two-handed weapon, and shadow and fire magic tricks that can help you eradicate the evildoers of Azeroth. Hope you enjoyed the video. Unfortunately, there was some bug tonight that we couldn't use the dungeon finder, and I actually did have to search the group myself. Although as you can see it was going pretty fast, I found a healer straight away, regards to Vamp Life, and we almost immediately completed the whole group. So let's join this party. The first problem with this spec is that initially it's kinda hard to actually generate some rage, although we do have a March of the Black King who kinda passively get the rage going, so it wasn't entirely that bad. The heals are amazing. We have plenty of tonics actually to apply cool stuff to ourselves, like healing on demand, damage reductions. The cooldowns are not really that long, and it seems that the armor modifiers we get from the spec itself does provide us with plenty of armor and enough damage mitigation to not really rely solely on healer. We do have a very nice reactive ability named Noctis Blade. On top of that, our main damaging ability, Dawn Blade, is hitting like a freaking truck, and it actually hits everybody around, so it's even better. The mobility may not be that crazy good, but I would say that that occasional volt every 10 seconds is pretty nice, especially that if you already get rolling, the rage is not really that much of a problem, so you can just get over that. Otherwise, we've got very nice damage mitigations. We've got plenty of heals ourselves. Up until this point, you can see that my HP didn't really move that much. And if you've got single target like characters, you can just pommel smash them. That doesn't really do that much damage, but it's pretty effective, especially against like 2 targets. Otherwise, you just spam slashes, similarly to the other Witch Hunter spec, the Inquisitor, which is pretty damn effective. The disarms, though, are so freaking annoying that it's just simply crazy. At this point, I had so much healing with the healer on my back as well, that I just rushed forward trying to literally like pour everything I've got on my route without too much problem. And I just want to say that this was my literally like first run I did on this character. We have also a very nice on-demand AoE heal if we've got all of our spells at our use. Plenty of AoE things that can passively deal crazy amounts of damage as well. And a Noctis Blade that heals us for shit ton and also gets us the absorption shield as well. Overall, even though it's the first time I'm tanking with this guy, I had absolutely no problem doing this run. It was very relaxing. I didn't have any oh shit button, oh shit situations. Just a very smooth run. The Noctis Blade after each parry can heal us up to 1200, which is pretty damn crazy if you ask me. We have the grips that we can use, so we don't really have to like run around. We can pull everybody together with like one single click every 45 seconds. So it's pretty damn cool if you ask me. Now it's gonna be a very nice test. Let's just pull literally everything. No problems whatsoever, as you can see. They just died. We pulled literally everything. Crazy healing. The Dawn Blade, which is our main damaging ability, also applies a very nice dot on your targets, so it deals even more damage and more threat. Noctis Blade is a priority because it gives you a massive shield. And there we go. Very easy heroic, we don't need shields. This leather is not for us, so that was very nice. Okay, this went pretty well, so let's go for another one. I'll just quickly show you one amazing spell, guys, which is another Blade Storm. But it's pretty damn cool, to be honest. And there we go, look at this, bang, 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 and also heals me for like every attack that we do. Now I got Noctis Blade straight out of the Blade Storm, March of the Black King, charge in, and carry on with some pulling. Very nice. If we need, we have a skill that resets our AoE and also applies the evil dot that also heals us, which is amazing. I'm not using it unless I really need to, if you know, like an emergency button rather. It's good also because we've got plenty of dots. We don't really have to like constantly sit on the target or attack it. We can just be on the constant move and pacify our targets. Our main abilities, so Pommel Smash and Slash, actually attack 2 targets. So it's even easier in those big pulls. And another Blade Storm. Bang, 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 bang. It's actually shitty in single target. Shitty ability. But in those big pulls, it's just great. Okay, we're getting a lot of guys in here. March of the Black King once again. We're actually gonna go for the Ram Tusk. He's pretty easy, so I'm gonna grab all those guys. Quickly shield. Big heal. Now this spec is amazing. Oh my god, I have always loved self-healing tanks. And this one is just top-notch. Let's apply some damage reduction that we have from the Knight's Seal. Let's pull everybody around. Oh, the Black Crow is actually pretty good. I'm gonna need on this. And Tuscan Helm, not really. Also, I've got all my dots, and I use my Knight's Seal that applies damage reduction. I can also then use my Desecrate to be able to consume the damage reduction, but also heal me for like 15% of my maximum health actually. I need to actually make a weak aura about the Noctis Blade. Would be a little bit easier to track. I love that during pulling you can just click March of the Black Knight and you just run through your enemies. It does not only deal AoE damage but also apply a buff that gives you more armor and things like that, so it generates rage as well. Very good spell overall. Noctis Blade, so let's use it. It's on a relatively short cooldown, so that's why it's so good to use as well. And use the Blade Storm. Man, this class is so amazing. I haven't tried the other tanks, I mean the Cultist, but man, this is so much better. Amazing mobility as well. You know, I don't really like to stand still, so having this option to constantly be on the move after a pack, between the packs, it's just simply amazing. And the last boss goes pretty nicely. And there you go. Shields, which we don't need. Teleport out of the dungeon because it's bugged. And queue for another one. Oh, we lost somebody. Looking for 1 DPS heroic runs. Oh, I didn't notice before, but I have exactly the same crossbow already. It's alpha, it's still buggy. I couldn't get the group because it showed that I can invite people to LFD party. Okay, the DPSs are pretty easy to combine, fortunately, so let's go. Okay, for this run I do already have some confidence in myself, so I think this should be a little bit easier. And big Blade Storm. I think we have 1 Trespasser in here. The healer told me that he overslept. It's no problem, I'm still alive. Oh, we're still fighting the boss. Now I just noticed. Hit him a couple of times with the pommel and we can continue. Okay, it's gonna be Tyson here. So we will have to be a little bit more careful. Maybe. Bang, let's go down. There we go. Noctis Blade. And big AoE. Of course. Look at my health. It doesn't move at all. So freaking amazing, man. I love this class. Let's cleave down the bosses. This is the play now. It got a little bit messy on the screen. I mean, like, I don't even pop defensive cooldowns mostly. I did now, just for the funds, but yeah, the cleave is pretty crazy. I don't need those things. Deadbone Sabaton's pretty cool. Oh, I turned into war again, pretty nice. And one more run for the sake of the video. Pull everybody and 1 big Blade Storm. Wait a second, because somebody come here. I couldn't pull this guy. Yeah, so from all those runs, I can see that the principle is to keep the March of the Black Knight constantly, because it gives you armor. A quick burst of threat, you just use your pommel slashes. Noctis Blade on cooldown because it gives you amazing survivability. Oh shit, they went for the other guy. Oh, this was a close call. A long stun, and that could have been my death, actually. Somebody actually left after dying. Oh, this guy actually hits pretty hard, to be honest. Let's test one of my tonics that heals me for every attack I make. Yeah, it's pretty damn cool, but his damage is being a little bit tough. I didn't expect something like that on heroic mode, to be honest. Need to utilize more Noctis stuff. Let's get in with the big massive blade storm. Nice, love this. Man, apart from the DPSing, I have always preferred tanks than a healer. And I have never ever expected to have so much fun. This guy. Come here. Blade storming my way to the win. Come on, nice. We don't have like very big consistent damage, but those big numbers from time to time from Dawnblade are really cool to see. I don't know how's the damage doing on the other characters. Let's pull them all together and start smacking their faces. That's the plan here. Knock this blade for more barrier. Those are all caster, but thankfully I do have quite a good defense against casters, so it's pretty good. Knock this blade and start spinning before the final boss. Come here, I can is done. Finally knocked this blade. Detonation, everybody around, come on. Did somebody die? No, everybody made it. That's good. Good to hear, brothers. Let's just finish off this worthless mage and be done with it. And Blade Storm at the end. Doesn't deal that much damage and heal that much in single target, but yeah, I just love how it looks. Sword with main hand. Critical attack power. Could be very nice. 162. No, my axe is better, so I don't really need it. Never mind. Man, that was pretty cool. Kinda gave me like Wrath of the Lich King vibes when we were like spamming those Dungeon Finder to gear up with tanks. That's the time when I actually still played tanks quite a lot. And I really loved Protection Warrior back then. But anyways, so that's the Witcher class in the World of Warcraft. As you can see, it's pretty cool. Kind of feels like a Blood Death Knight, I would say, from retail, with lots of healing. Don't be scared of having like mail armor. As you can see, mail armor itself give me like 51% of the armor. I got 10% dodge, 6% parry. It seems that there's like plenty of items that we can still also improve this, because I've seen plenty of like leather pieces that drops with additional like dodge and things like that, so we can make it even better if we really need to. Also, there are many active mitigation talents that increase our parry and things like that, so we can knocked blade or more often and heal ourselves even better. I just want to check one thing. Dawnblade is the first one. 2k crits, nice. All the dots and stuff like that. Pommel Smash crits for like 1k. Witch Blight 1k. Shadow Storm, yeah, you can see the damage. Not that high. Noctis Blade can hit for up to like 1.1. That's pretty damn cool, especially... Oh no, the shield Noctis Blade applies is actually fixed amount. I thought it's based on the damage, but the heal is actually based on the damage. 100% of the damage dealt. So if you crit for like 1.5, 1.1, then yeah, 1.6 is the heal. Pretty cool, very cool spec. We do have longer cooldown on our AoE abilities, but we have like 4 of them. So it's not actually any problem with one reset button. And we can of course have the Shadow Storm, but usually instead of this I just go for Blade of the Misbegotten, because damage dealt by Dawnblade increases your health by 20% of the damage dealt for 8 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. In AoE you just use this once and have like extra 700 health or something. So all those fixed modifiers that heal percentage of your health will be buffed thanks to this. So it's always nice to have.
Level 60 on Conquest of Azeroth has been unlocked for a month now. This means that all the max level activities are available for testing with brand new classes. Today we are going to take a look at the pros and cons of Koa, so by the end of this video you will know whether it's worth buying or is it better to still wait for more polished server. We start off with the classes, as let's face it, this is the main feature of Conquest of Azeroth.
They have been taken a long way to find a place they are now, and I have to say that the wait was totally worth it. We not only get completely fresh 21 classes to play with, each one of them has 3 or even 4 specs, which gives us a whooping amount of 69 brand new specializations. The best part is that if you choose a class, then all of those specs it has are completely different. There's no situation where you would feel that you just cast spells with different names on other specs. They have a very unique feeling to them, and I have to admit that so far I haven't found a specialization that I wouldn't particularly like. New spell animations are amazing, and some of the casters have very eye-catching effects. I'm pretty sure that with such amount of playstyles, everybody will find their niche and enjoy discovering Azeroth once more. Especially that some of those specializations provide gameplay of our favorite characters in the Warcraft universe. As for balance, we still have to consider that it's an alpha. Things are being changed on the move, and you can see that devs are listening to player feedback from Discord to adjust things. We still have some busted specs that shine in both PvP or PvE, but on the contrary, I haven't found any class yet that would be completely useless. Or maybe I'm just lucky. After all, I still haven't tried all of them. All in all, numeric values are still subject to change, so I wouldn't mind so much if you like the spec that is underperforming at the moment. There's still hope. Content on the alpha server is being released gradually, and at the moment of releasing the video, we have Zul Gurub available on all difficulties for raiding and Mythic 0 for dungeons. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, those activities pose absolutely no threat to new classes of Conquest of Azeroth, at least on the heroic Zul Gurub and all of the Mythic Zeros. There are some oh shit moments here and there, but overall the gameplay is kinda relaxed and doesn't require that much focus. There are of course higher difficulties like Ascended Zul Gurub and Mythic Plus that will show up soon, but of course numbers are still subject to change, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. All in all, it was a very fun experience initially to zug through old content with new classes, but I guess the true fun will emerge when those new specs will be challenged by some more difficult stuff. On PvE side of things, we also have Mana Storms, but to be honest, I don't exactly know what role they want to fulfill in Core. On Elune, those are amazing source of scrolls and leveling, although when scrap the scrolls part, only the leveling part stays, because if you want gear on max level, there are definitely better places to look for. I think the role of Mana Storms should be redone in Conquest of Azeroth, because to get amazing gear from deeper levels, you first need to have that gear to even reach such levels. If there is no real reward, why even bother with it? Currently, I'm a little bit upset with Mana Storms as they mostly function as leveling method, thus completely killing the open world aspect of Ascension. And the funny thing is that I cannot blame them. It's the fastest and most efficient way of leveling and gearing along the way. You can also do it solo or with friends if you will. Either way, the gains are massive. I would love if Mana Storms would be locked for leveling and would be made exclusive for endgame content. I do realize though that it's a very unique feature of Ascension and they will probably not limit its accessibility, so for the moment we still stay with dead open world. But when we are at the open world, I can also mention that the Colbert quest also lost their purpose. On Elune, it's a steady flow of scrolls with some additional equipment on top of that. Here, on Conquest, it will always be better to spend that time farming mythics or raiding. You still get the caches with gear, and on top of that you can obtain a very concrete piece of gear that you are looking for. Colbert quests were already boring, but at least made us to go out in the open. At this point, I really think that whole endgame loop has to be redesigned for Conquest of Azeroth, as many features that work well for seasonal classless may not be the best choices for fixed classes. In classless, it was all about progressing your character with every activity that you do, whether it would be open world quests, dungeons, raids or PvP. You felt very significant progression as items were not the only reward you were looking for. Scrolls are far more important initially, and we did get those for everything we have done. In Conquest of Azeroth, scrolls are useless, that is why a lot of those things will lose its progressive incentives. It will be hard to actually balance it out, but I have my hopes up. We can already see some movements in that direction, like for example adding new dungeons to the pool to make things fresh. It's still far away from the release, so the team have plenty of times to polish things. Leveling is very fun in Conquest of Azeroth. Exploring all the new specialization, trying new things out, very exciting. The problem are once again the mana storms. All the people just sit in those freaking locations, and once again I can't blame them. It's probably the fastest way. The thing is that leveling zones are completely empty. High risk leveling can be already forgotten. There are some occasional BGs going on each level bracket, but the population is waning day after day and it doesn't help at all. RDF is still okay. I even noticed that it may be slightly faster than the mana storms if you have a good group. And for the moment, there are plenty of people on all level brackets as they are trying out new classes constantly. Random Dungeon Finder is also scalable, so it doesn't matter what level you are. You can be grouped with level 50 heroes while being 15 yourself, so if you love tanking or healing, you will have no problem getting instant queues. PvP leveling is fun, especially thanks to new classes, and that people have to learn how to play them. Although, like I mentioned before, the population is going down, so they are rarely seen nowadays. You can still find some during peak times, but overall, even on level 60, population problems started to show up. Of course, probably one of the main reasons being the PvE content releases as well. But being kinda PvP freak myself, it's a shame logging in and then waiting 30 minutes for one arena or a BG that has an even amount of people to even play normally. Nonetheless, I have to admit that I had tons of fun playing PvP initially. Duels in front of Orgrimmar or Stormwind were easy to come by, BG queues popping all the time, and 1v1 arenas where I experienced so many nice duels. I have always wished for 1v1 arenas in WoW. Blizzard did not implement this, as the game is not balanced for 1v1. It can also be seen in Koa, where some of the specs shine more than the others, but having so many of them is actually good, as you will probably find at least one of the specs on each class that thrives in 1v1 combat. To wrap things up, classes are definitely a very strong point, and just trying them out can keep players for pretty long. I also realized that classes took like 99% of the development time, so I have my hopes up when it comes down to the content. We can already see some custom things being added during the alpha, so on the day of the release we will be 100% in a better spot than today. We have already seen amazing things done by Ascension team, like Fell mode or the mana storms themselves. Those were things we have seen for the very first time in WoW, and I'm sure that with more time to polish things, we'll get amazing product for the release.